Hello, everybody. Hello. I've unmuted myself. I said boo and it didn't even come through. Anyway, we're here on this is the super early show. So notice that it's quite, which is really nice to have. Now, if you're actually brand new here and you're still taking the shrink wrap off yourself, welcome for a start. What we do at the first hour, I guess, is we get all geeky with synths. We're going to have a little play around here in the studio and muck around a bit. Then around about 2 o'clock if you're in the UK, if you're in my part of the clock, I don't know what it is, not a world clock, but you get the idea. So about 2 o'clock English time or London time, we hit the main show. And the main show's got all the normal regular segments on it. We're going to hit that. We're an hour away now, and I'm just using this first, I guess, 15 minutes just to sort of get ourselves sort of settled in and working. Let us know in chat if the audio's coming through okay, if it's not too loud, if it's peaking. All right. I have to test quite a few things out today. Yeah, mic is cutting in and out again. We know what that is. I'm a thinking it is plugins. Let's get rid of plugins. I'm a thinking plugins. Get rid of plugins. All right, plugins are all gone. It will be as noisy as buggery right now. Let's try. Oh, I can't even read this. Let's try this one, see if this works better. Okay. Let me know if the audio has fixed that. Now, it would have just been on my mic. I probably should actually monitor that. I can't be bothered finding the headphones. Let me know. There are a few spinners. Yeah. It's nothing my end, unless, I don't know, something wrong with Australian internet, I don't know. There's definitely nothing wrong my end. I'm not getting any errors my end. But yeah, shows that it's working. Has the audio stopped glitching? Has it stopped? You know, I'm going to be talking like this, and then all of a sudden you'll see me talking but no noise coming through. Just let me know if that is happening. Yeah, bin all the plugins. That's what I'm doing. It might be a bit noisy though if I bin them all, but yeah, I need to get myself a second iLock dongle. I don't really want to have to spend the money on it though. It's expensive and I don't really need it. I just don't want to have to disconnect the dongle from my Mac because I'm going to be using it today. And if I plug it into my video streaming PC, that's another cost. Okay, cool. We've sorted audio out. It stopped glitching. Right. Okay, let's test cameras out now. All right, let's go to the geeky side of things. We're going to do this. Cool. Right, so that's just next to me here. Okay, good. Now, let's see if we can get audio working. Now, this will actually sound a little bit noisy because I've got, these are actually really kind of vintage type modules that we're using. So, for example, this module here is the Roland System 500, and it's called the 572, which is actually like a bucket brigade delay type, you know, one of those sort of phaser, flanger, chorus, delay type modules. If I turn it on, you'll hear how noisy it is. You can hear it hissing. And you'll notice that it's panning. Very subtle, but that's actually deliberate. So we'll show you all of that in a sec. But forget about the noise, because the noise is actually part of the module. Right, daughter was just yelling out. I just had to tell her to be quiet. Right, okay, so we're going to start by talking about what is here. First of all, I'm going to test some camera angles out. So we're going to go here. We're going to use mainly just this skiff and this skiff today. And I'll go through what is what in a sec. And this will be the close-up view of the new VCA matrix that I've just got in. So I'm going to go through that in a sec as well. So hold on to your hats and get drinks and things like that because it's all going to be good fun. I've only really got those 3 camera angles. I probably should add one more, shouldn't I? Let me just get the PDZ. I want to show you guys the Behringer rack thing. So if we zoom over there, we probably don't need much more than that, I guess. So let's add that as another input. All right, cool. So I am going to be using the brains, the 110 module to the left of the brains. I'm going to be using the Metropolis, and I'm going to use the little sequencer, the 182, which is to the left of the Metropolis as well. So they're all getting used. I'm not using the phaser, I don't think, at this stage. No, not using the phaser. I could though. All right, what else are we going to do? We've got to, oh no, did it just update my, nah, cool, beautiful. Right, so let's see if we can get some audio happening. Keeping an eye on chat too as we go. I'll try my best. It's just me at the moment. The other guests will be coming in soon. Right. How can we do this? Let's just get rid of all these sounds. I'll leave the kick there. Now, if I turn that, you would hear the hiss stop. Just let us know in chat if you can hear that. I'll turn the hiss back on. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you how this VCA matrix works. So, first a little audio demo. We're going to bring in the Basimilus Iteratus from Noise Engineering. And I might mix it with a bit crusher. And then that's a phaser. So this little VCA matrix, how it works, let's just turn the kick off for a sec. How it works is actually pretty cool. So what you've got is you've got 4 inputs. Let's actually show you guys a graphic. Let's have a look at the graphic while we're at it. Boom. Let's do it this way. So you've got 4 inputs across the top left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then those go to sends. So you see A, B, C, D. They actually go out to sends. And those sends are then patched into, you know, your effects type modules. And then they come back into the 4 inputs where you see the 1, 2, 3, 4 as 4 inputs again on the right-hand side. And then everything is all mixed into the main output. This is made by a company called, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Unruhi. Someone will tell us how to pronounce it properly in chat. And basically, you've then got a master sort of crossfader underneath, which is the ABCD plus the return. And you can actually mix between the wet and the dry, which is actually pretty cool. Then you've got input attenuators across underneath the inputs. So there's 4 input attenuators. And then underneath that, you've got the actual matrix itself, which corresponds, each column corresponds to each input, and each row corresponds to each mix, I think, if I remember reading that right. Anyway, we'll play with that in a sec. And then on the far right-hand side, you've got another column which are the returns mixer. So if we're bringing that sound in, so that is the first input going to the first send, and then I can actually then dial that return back, and you can hear the clean signal to the full wet signal. And the same deal with the phaser. The thing about this is you can mix the two. Or you could have phaser and bit crusher. Right. Let's get rid of that graphic because you guys get the idea. Okay, so the other cool thing about it is that because you've got 4 multiple inputs and 4 multiple sends and then 4 multiple returns, you can get crazy with mixing and blending and stuff. So first thing is I've got a second input coming in which should be a synth sound, and that will go through. It's a bit quiet, isn't it, that synth sound? It's definitely maxed out there. Let's see if we can get that a bit louder. I don't know why that's quiet. Anyway, that's the synth sound, and we can mix that in with Bit Crusher. It actually might be the module itself that's actually quiet. If you bring the kick in. There we go. A bit of echoey delay and bit crushing at the same time. Now, the bit crusher itself is, let's see if we can get this thing showing to you guys. The Dystopia by Dreadbox. And I've got a little LFO running on that, which is the same LFO that's controlling the phaser and the like the little echo effect. Right. Anyway, little bit of that mucking around. I'll just go back to me. That's not me. That's me there. Bang. Right. Questions about it so far. Let's have a quick look at chat. The module with all the knobs and the switches is a mixer. Yes. So I showed this module here a couple of streams ago. This is the Feedback Modules Mix BX. This is based on a Boss BX8 mixer from the 90s. It's like a DJ type mixer, and we did a whole stream on this one. So yeah, I've got a few inputs coming in here. But the VCA Matrix has that sort of the sort of percussive sound going through it, plus it's got one synth sound going through it. And it's got a spare 2 inputs I can muck around with. So that is that. The one with the black and white knobs, you mean these? They are sort of like a cream and black knobs, yeah. That is that one. Okay, then the next question was, the VCA Matrix, did your fingers get stuck in the knobs? Yes, they do, because I've got big fat fingers, so. But they do get stuck in there a little bit. But I find if I just sort of touch them at the top, it's not too bad. I could replace these knobs. But by the way, I should mention, This is actually a prototype that I bought off a guy used who got permission to sell it. So I don't know if they actually sell these, but it actually works beautifully. So yeah, I don't have a massive amount of information other than what I'm going to be showing you with graphics today, but we could, I guess, contact Unruhi or whatever they're called and see if we can find any more information about it. These kind of knobs here are more sort of like, these are your performance knobs. So I do feel that they could be a better design. Don't forget this is a prototype, but it's functioning the way I want it to function. So one of the things you can do with this, let's have a look at the real basic sort of layout is what I was just showing you before. So you've got your 4 inputs, and then you've got your, if you can hear popping sounds in the background, there's fireworks just up the road here from me. There's like a fair going on, and there's fireworks. Anyway, ignore that. So this is your basic setup with your 4 inputs going to effects and then back into your main input and then out to the mixer. So that's one I showed you before. The other way you can do with this is you could do a 8 insert mode. So you could actually have 4 voices in and then out to an effects and or mixer and then 4 voices back in again. So you'd end up with 8, which is actually pretty cool. And I haven't tried that yet, but it actually would work because of the way the crossfader is set up, because you can set your crossfader to the return mode and it sees the other 2 separate inputs at the same time. So that's actually pretty cool. And there's this other weird one you can do, which really started to get my ears pricking up. And that is this kind of FX feedback thing where you could actually do a voice in and then an FX sort of looped, if you can sort of imagine one going to FX1 and FX2 and then looping into the main input on the right. So basically, if you read it there on the right, it says voice is plugged in to input 1, the voice is 3 or 4 send, send A takes it back, FX1 is plugged into the send itself to feedback, and FX1 comes back in. The crossfader actually does your sort of dry wet level. So because, don't forget, because this is a VCA, this would actually do all of that sort of craziness. And you'd have to pay attention to those white knobs on that. That would actually be pretty important with the feedback levels. So yeah, I don't know if I can try that, but we can give that sort of stuff a whirl anyway. But just for now, I just think just the ability to mix and route signals in a VCA way. I mean, you can do this with other VCAs, by the way, too. So, but in the sense that you've got the matrix and it's got the ins, the sends, the inputs from the sends, and then the main mix out. The only thing I don't like about it, and this could just be, this could just be me. The main output. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I need to double check this against the other module I was going to get was the 4MS one. Now, I think I've got a graphic for that. Just give me a sec, I'll bring that up. I haven't got it yet. It's still on its way. I think we talked about it last week. This is the 4MS module, and I'm not really sure. See, the way I understand this working is you actually have 4 outputs, and then you have pretty much, it's kind of almost like it's missing that last part that this module has. So having those 4 outputs, yeah, now I'm looking at it, actually it probably is the same. So you've got your 4 inputs, then you've got your matrix, which can be CV controlled. That's why you've got all those patches inputs there, and then you've got mutes as well. So there's a few things that this does that the other one doesn't. I actually probably just need to get my hands on both, but just sort of comparing it, This doesn't have CV control of the attenuators, but this does have, it has the 4 inputs and the 4 outputs, and then it has another 4 input returns. That's actually pretty big. That's pretty cool. So this is kind of acting like a summed mixer with returns in a way, plus a VCA. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. And if you kind of compare, if you kind of use these two in conjunction with each other, this particular module, the Mix BX, actually has 2 sends and 2 stereo returns on it, as well as 6 inputs. And you could actually probably, I haven't even got my head around it yet, but you could probably work out a way to actually do inserts with this, with the VCA matrix, I guess. What do you guys think? Like, there's a few brainy people in here. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. I think it's this button. Yeah, it's working, yay! Things are working tonight. They're all talking about Wagoo catching a ghost train. Let me have a little sip of the coffee. Yeah, I think probably the best thing to do now is just have a little play with it. We could patch different things in as we go. So I've got different voices going. So we've got these. So if I was to turn that matrix off, you're just hearing now the mixer. And the mixer does have a send to the magneto, which you can see just up the top left there. And that's why you can hear that stereo delay effects. And you can get that thing going crazy. It's a very, very, very nice mixer. I've got a second one sitting in a box waiting to go into my second skiff. So we turn the matrix back on. Let's get that sound happening a bit more. That phaser is very quiet. Very, very quiet, that phaser. I must attenuate that phaser. Okay, one of the things that I should probably show you guys. I might need to move the camera up a little bit. I've got a LFO running on the pan. There's another mixer at the back here, which is the Roland mixer. And it's got CV controls for pan, you can't see it, but I had to use the maths to attenuate the LFO because I don't want, if I make that sort of max, I think it's this one, 1, 2, 3, yeah. That'll go all the way left and all the way right. And it's kind of a little bit crazy. So I'm using the maths to attenuate, just to make that pan a little less annoying. So it's more subtle, it's not quite all the way. That kick is annoying me. So we could put anything into that. We could probably even go out of something else and into that, maybe out of the brains. Instead of the brains, yeah, let's do the brains. So let's turn that off. Let's turn all these off. All right, let's bring the brains in. The brains is, I think it's this one here. I don't know if it's going to reach, but we'll try. We'll try and get it to reach. Now I've got 4 inputs here and I've got 2 left. So let's put the brains in. Okay, and I don't need to send it anywhere else because I've already got the sends and returns though. So the first thing we want to do, let's try the brains with the little delay effect. It's quiet. It's very, very quiet, isn't it? Let's try it with a bit crusher. No, this one. That is so quiet. That's coming straight out of the brains into here. Oh, I know what's quiet. There we go. I need to attenuate it. Silly me. That's the bit crusher. Let's try the... Geez, you can only just hear that. It's too quiet. So much louder on the other one. Interesting, isn't it? All right, I don't think I want to put the brains there. Doesn't mean the brains is crap, probably. What we might need to do with these things is come out of the mixer and into that, maybe, I don't know. It might be something that I need to do because the mixer has a bit of preamping in it. And I kind of feel that let's just turn this off. Let's turn this noise off too. Here we go. I kind of feel that there's like, the attenuator is not actually giving any sort of preamping to that matrix. I think it's taking away. So if you actually have anything on the attenuator, it'll become a subtractive type sort of thing. So you're taking it away. Yeah, I kind of feel that that's what it's doing, which is interesting because, you know, you kind of want that sort of thing if you want to back something off, I guess, on an input. But you've got all those controls, on the matrix. You can actually add how much you want coming back in the returns, how much you want coming back into each of those sends. Yeah, it's kind of insane. It's almost hard to get your head around. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it does need some sort of gain stage, but don't forget it is a VCA. So it takes, like all VCAs, it takes the signal in. Yeah, if it was like a true VCA, you'd probably have to have some sort of CV modulation on it, I guess, which I think the 4MS one does. I think that's what those are in it. So yeah, we're going to get both and then we're going to compare them at one stage in the near future when they actually do arrive. I think it's actually pretty cool. Right, what else have we got? Questions. Right, what have you guys been saying? Let's sort of work backwards. You could probably get a preamp module. The only thing I think, when you start working with Eurorack, you have exactly the same problems that you have in your synth world, but it actually happens all just inside your cases. So you have problems with some modules being quieter than others, so you have to attenuate some, you have to preamp others. It's all kind of in that sort of world. Kind of annoying in a way. It'd be nice if they all had some sort of, if they all played nicely with each other. So yeah, let's chat. Where are we? There. So where are we at? We're about 15 minutes into the early show. I believe we will have some people arriving probably in the next half an hour, and we can go and talk about the main show. But I'll give you guys a sneak preview of, like, verbally of what's going to be happening today. Obviously, the title is that we're going to be talking about the Black Friday stuff that's been happening. Literally, I think Thanksgiving in the US was Thursday just been, so Black Friday sales was in some cases probably still on. Today's Saturday, so it would probably carry on all the way through till Monday, which we have Cyber Monday. So we're going to go through a couple of the things that I've got through those sales, and we'll also talk about some of the specials that you can get for hardware in your part of the world. So some are in the US, some are in the UK, some are in Europe. It depends on where you are. It doesn't seem to be too much over here where I live in Australia, but we don't really celebrate, we don't really have a Thanksgiving here, and I think it's the same in the UK and that's either. So, but yeah, this Black Friday thing is kind of becoming a worldwide thing, I think. Anyway, it's an opportunity for retailers to get people to spend their money, and that's what they're going to do. But anyway, probably the big part of this part of the year, I think, is where you save money on software. For me, that tends to be, I always put a little bit of money aside, and if I need to buy some software I've been waiting for, this is probably the best time to get it. So we're going to look at some of those specials that have come around in the last couple of days, and some of them we won't even know about until Monday. So we could be prematurely talking about stuff you never know might even get cheaper on Monday. And of course, we'll talk about some new hardware that's come out, and what else? Oh, and yeah, some effects, and yeah, there's some interesting stuff. We've got our standard segments, Funny Side. We've got a new segment called Name That Synth, if you haven't been watching in the last couple of weeks. Future World Machine says, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Bankrupt Wednesday. Yeah, do not buy anything on credit, guys. Just spend what you can afford and don't put it on the credit card. That's my advice. Credit cards are not your money. That's why they're credit. You've got to kind of remember that. I hate credit cards. I'm actually not good with them, so I don't use them. Yes. Yeah, and when we get to the segment, if you've got any good tips for that we haven't mentioned, yeah, share them with us in Discord or chat. Now, if you guys are wondering, we do have a Discord server that we run all week long. It's not that one, it is this graphic here. So if you've never ever used Discord before, it's a free piece of software. You can use it on your phone, on your tablet, or you can use it on your desktop, or you can just use it inside your browser. That address there will take you straight to our Discord server, and the Discord server is running 24/7, and we're chatting about stuff all the way through the week, and it's quite good. It's yeah, all sorts of conversations happen during the week on our Discord server. So I'll leave you with that. You guys can check that out in your own time. I think it's actually running. I think there's a few people in there. Yep, there's a few people in there. There's actually a couple of people in chat that are actually in there talking to me recently too. So you guys are chatties. You guys are probably, most of you are in Discord during the week anyway. So, but yeah, do join it because it's free. There's no, you know, it's one of those social media platforms that I like because you're not getting bombarded with ads, and you're not getting bombarded with, you know, censorship and Facebook jail and things like that. So yes, that's probably all I need to say about Discord. If you guys do use things like Twitter, I don't really use it a lot, but there's my tweet address. I always do that. I need to change that. It's just Ranzee. Here we go. There. So if you're onto Twitter, you can follow me on there. I don't tweet a lot, but usually it's just show information, so you can do that. We were talking about setting up an IRC server, and I need to, there's a couple of guys that are regulars on this channel that are pretty good at doing that, so I might have a chat to them in the near future. We'll work something else out there. Let me just put myself up in the corner here while we're talking. There we go. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Look, I'm kind of an advocate on you guys getting, you know, new gear and things like that, because it's always exciting. But at the same time, just be very, very careful about spending too much money. The whole point of these sales is that you should hold off on getting things and then spend less during the sales as opposed to buying all the way during the year and then you're just buying again at the sale. So that's kind of getting a bit crazy. But if you're driving around in your Lamborghini and you like to putting your Moog one in the back, if that's you, then go for it. Spend all your money. That's your prerogative. Yeah. There's a few bargains, yeah, for sure. We'll definitely go through some of them. We'll even bring up some of the main retailers' websites and we'll go through them once we get into that part of the show. So, yeah, be interesting. Right. So, yeah, don't ever buy any gear on credit. It's a really, really good tip if you can. If you can't, I mean, like things like Moog ones and stuff like that, they are pretty expensive, like no matter where you live. Not everyone has that sort of money sitting around. Some people save up for it. Some people pay it off, which is credit. So yeah. Right, let's go back to our little setup here. And yeah, let's have a little chat about kind of what else we had planned. Now, I think I've got, yeah, that view there. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is I want to sort of work a little bit more with gating stuff. So you can use sequences to gate other things. And I've actually got another module which is in the other skiff called the Varigate, which does exactly that. I should probably move it to there. So you can see the Varigate. I'll just get my face out of the way. So the Varigate is a good module for using it as a gate sequencer, basically. It actually has 8 gates, plus it also has 2 CV tracks as well. The 2 CV tracks you can use to, to program pitch controls in. It's kind of similar to the Metropolis in a way, but it's different again. Yeah, not really so sure personally if I'm a lover of it, but I definitely am using it. Probably not using it to its full potential, but when I say I want to gate stuff is I kind of want to send audio back through a gate and then back out again. So you can use these as CV gates and also as audio gates, which is something I want to try out. And what else? Going back to that view. So you've got that, where is it? I'll just get my pointer so I don't have to reach. Ooh, don't want to knock that off. So that Behringer mixer there, the 182, is actually very, very similar to the Intellijo Metropolis in the sense that that was modeled after the original Roland System 100M sequencer, and the Intellijo Metropolis was also modeled after. But the Metropolis was modeled after a special one that is kind of rare and only a few people have got. And I'm just wondering if we can zoom in on that, and it actually shows us there. See how it's got the M185 underneath the name there? That is actually the model that it was modeled after. And if you ever see, I might even be able to dig up a photo of an M185 sequencer. They're actually really, really, they're part of the Roland System 100, Roland System 100 M185 module. Let's see if we can get a photo of that for you guys so you can have a look. Yeah, here it is. So I'll save this image off of YouTube. 185. Sorry, just give me a sec. I've got to find out where I saved it to now. Here we go. Right, so I'll overlay that. So there's the 185, the original Roland one. And you can see there is some similarities with the Metropolis, how it's got the little switches for each of the sequences. And those switches do things like repeating steps. So 1 plays it once and 8 will play it 8 times. And then you've also got little mode switches as well for each step. So it's actually quite an intuitive design. And so what Intellijo did, of course, is they took that design and made it into something a little bit better. Don't forget too, there's even there's a new version of Metropolis out called the Metropolix, which is better than this and newer and everything. But you can see how you've got the, I'll just move those cables out of the way. See how you've got the switches for the number of counts of each step, and then underneath you've got the modes, whether it's you know, single or multiple. One of the cool things I like about it is, let's see if we can get that sequence going. I think it's this one. It's not that one. Which one is it? Oh, it is this one. Right, now what we should have is ratchets on here. Here we go. So the little ratchets are cool. And if you've got the switches set to the third option there, which I've got them all set to that, it will act as multiple gates on each step. As you can see, it just keeps playing it. With the ratchets too, you can set it to do up to 4. That was 2. 3 sounds good. And bring the bass into it. And you can change the sequence just by sliding this around. Such a good sequencer to play with. I mean, you guys probably all saw that video that Mylar Melodies did on the Metropolis like ages ago. It's probably 5 years ago now. So that just gives you an idea of how good this module is, and it's still to this day really, really good. One of the LEDs is not working, by the way, on mine. I think it's LED number 5 on the slider. I bought it used knowing that that was actually a fault. There's actually nothing wrong with it. It's just an LED's blowing on the actual pot slider. And one day, if I get it, if I can be stuffed, I'll go in there and I'll fix it. Yeah. So yeah, gates and sequences, they're fun. Lots of fun. Right, what have you guys been saying? Steve's finally get to watch the live show. Yeah. You have watched it before though, Steve. It's been a while, I know, but yeah, it's good that you hear. Look, it's early and it's late depending on where you are. So for me, it's exactly the same time that I stream for the last 9 months or so. So it's not a problem for me. I just keep going. Just keeping an eye to see if the video chatties are coming. We should have Daren here soon. And I just need to double check if I've got anyone else coming. Okay, sorry, I need to give someone a link. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I need to give the link. Let me just go to here. I'm just organizing one of the callers who's coming in. Sorry, just give me a sec. I need to get a number. Cool. 1 second. Right. Okay. That is sorted. Sorry, I had to just quickly get that sorted, and it's a bit hard to do that while I'm live streaming. I know, sorry, I do apologize. Nothing happens easily these days. Right, yeah, ratcheting. Oh, Steve's usually working. Yeah, that sucks. But you got to earn money. You got to earn money. You can do ratcheting on that. You need external modules to do it, but you can do it on the Roland Behringer 182. But you actually need something to manipulate the gate coming in, and it will work across all the steps. It won't do individual ones. So that 182 is very, very basic. And what I've got the 182 doing is, if you notice, it's actually working on a. I'll just turn that off. See, it's on the offbeat. I love that sort of stuff where you can actually get things working on an offbeat. Now, how I do that, there's a heap of different ways to doing that, by the way, but if you're wondering how I do it very simply using this dope for module here called the A160-2. It's a clock divider. Let's zoom in on that for you. That's a really, really cool module. So you can actually see the little blue cable coming out, and you can actually see the light next to it. That's firing off that sequencer there. That is being fed from PAMs next to it. So PAMs is, you can actually do the same thing with PAMs too, by the way. You can actually send what they call a phased gate. It'll 50% off phase, so then it'll fire at 50% off beat, which is actually a really cool thing. Yeah, love doing that sort of stuff. And obviously you can swing it, you can have it not so perfect, which is something that people like to do as well. But yeah, for me right now, I'm really kind of enjoying the whole kind of mixing sounds, and then yeah, that VCA matrix was something that I definitely needed. No audio. No audio? You sure? Yeah, it's showing us this end. Audio fine. So, Sensient. Audio dropping in and out, could be your end, mate. Restart your browser. Restart your computer. They always say that, don't they? Yeah, Daren, no, we've got Andy, sorry, not Daren. Andy's just arrived. Let's go to, he's just setting up, but you can just see our guests are starting to arrive.
Hey. Sorry, it's off kilter a little bit. I got to fix the video.
I'll leave you getting set up, and then you can wave your hands frankly when you're ready, okay?
Thanks, yeah.
No worries. Let me just double check to make sure your lower third is working. Yes, beautiful. Cool. All right, let's go back to chatties. Beautiful. Okay, wave your hands frantically when you're ready. Now, I think we are good to go there. Just looking at, so it's about 10 minutes away before we start getting everyone into the main show, getting everyone ready with that. Okay, there's one thing I actually do need to do, and that is, I need to go get my iPad. I forgot to go and get it. Ooh, that's giving a bit of a hint away. All right, at one stage I'll probably need to run off and grab my iPad and get that connected up so that you guys can see the screen of that. Right, and let's keep going with our discussion about the new module, the VCA matrix. Right, let's go back to this view. Okay, what do you guys think would be another cool sort of setup with this? Let's go back to that graphic there. What are you guys sort of thinking there? Like you can the 4 ins and the 4 sends, and then the 4 back in again. So you're sending it and then you're coming back in again. There was some kind of, any kind of thoughts about what you might be able to do with this? The crossfader maybe has some sort of interesting features, perhaps. I don't know. What's the crossfader going to do? So the crossfader, they're saying that, I need to get this on a different screen because I can't read it there. The crossfader fades between dry outputs A, B, C, D and return. So so let me just kind of work this out in my head so you guys can kind of understand it as well. But that means that it's actually picking up the output signal of the inputs coming in first, and then it's feeding that to the main output, and then it's picking up the for input, the returns. Yeah, which is kind of how it's the same how a mixer works. So the right-hand attenuators in the column returns mixer adjust the levels so you can use it as a standard 4-channel mixer, which is actually pretty handy. So you don't actually necessarily have to have your ins going back into this thing. You could have them going somewhere else and just use that matrix as like an attenuator type thing. So input is column 1, is input 1. So the input, column 1, and then the sends are each row, I believe. So let's just double check that again. I've got to get my head around this. Let's just check that again. So let's turn all this stuff off. Right, so that sends to A. This should send to B. Okay, so columns are the inputs and rows are the sends. That should be the big crusher. So I like this. I really like this. Sorry about the hiss. Yeah, that's really, really cool. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's certain subtleties with electronics that are really important in the audio industry, and that is like when you adjust an attenuator like that, you don't want to have kind of clicks and pops. So that's actually kind of really quality there. And just getting that real subtleness. Yeah, you can hear it now. So you can really do fine adjustments on that. That's actually really cool. All right.
It's pretty good at getting some of that yo stuff in there.
Yeah. I'll just bring you up to date, Andy, because I don't know if you were watching before.
I heard part of it. Yeah, I was driving from my girlfriend's place to here. So
yeah. So basically, I've got just the Basimus iteratus going through input number 1. Input number 2 is just a...
Is it BI or BIA?
BASIM.
I mean the original BI or not the BIA, the newer one?
No, it's the original one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are 2 inputs taking the same effects now. Yeah, no, that's really
on my
cool.
list. I need to get one of those.
That is really, really cool. So yeah, it's just behaving like a mixer with sends and returns. Now that mixer does that as well. So I've got 6 sends, and that's got 4 returns, 2 stereo returns, so that I can use for stereo-based mixing effects. So like the Magneto or the Typhoon, anything like the Scooper as well, stereo-based returns. And I can use that for mono-based returns, like all of those effects there. So like the 572 module, the Dystopia, which is just above it, is a mono return. Interesting though, the Dystopia itself actually has individual outs on it as well. So you could actually plumb up your Dystopia into that VCA matrix and feed
Dystopia? I forgot that one.
So it's basically a noise crush filter type module. So it's got a filter, it's got a bit crusher, and it's got pink and blue noise as well as a scatter thing, which is kind of crazy. I haven't even used the scatter for a while, but it is kind of crazy. I think if I was to show you the scatter, I would literally be doing this, I think. Here we go. Let's do that. Not really sure if the scatter is doing what it's supposed to be doing. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of weird. No, I never really liked it.
What's the main sequencer there? What are you driving it with?
Oh, lots of different sequences here. I've got the Variegate running the Presonus. I think there's the Roland System 100 running the other one. I think. Let me just double check. Oh no, that's the Variegate running that as well. Just a very basics, stabby sound. I did have. I was showing everyone else this, so we're probably just repeating everything. But so I've got those other two sequences running over here. These are running these things. All right, let's turn this off now. I think we're done with that. Okay, and we've got Daren here. Let's see if Daren's working. Hey, Daren. Mic working?
Good day. Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear
Fantastic.
me?
Yeah.
That's all right. And it's working. That's good.
How's it going, Daren?
All right, Andy. I can't see who's on, actually. Is it Andy? Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, with all the syncing and everything else.
My camera's still messed up.
Yeah. Now, we might actually have someone else. I don't know yet. We'll just need to double check. Yeah. I've given them the login and password. Cool. For now, let's chuck the chatties in. Which one's guest 4? That one. Sorry. Yeah. Put chatties in for now, and then we'll just keep an eye on the last one coming in. No Andy, as in Brooksy today. He's off with that thing that we talked about last week, where Robbie Puricelli's doing the CMI Fairlight stuff, just about an hour's drive down the road from him.
Yeah, I wish I could go to that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I wish I could too. Obviously, we need a plane ride for me to do that, a big one. But yeah, no, we're good for that. Okay, and chatties, making sure they're all good. Starting to get a few people now into the show, so they usually come a little bit. I noticed there was quite a lot coming early for the early show, which was good, with me just noodling around. Yes, good to see. So people from Los Angeles, that's so early in the morning. You're in LA, aren't you, Andy?
No, I'm in the Bay Area.
Okay, San Fran.
Silicon Valley.
Cool. But still the same time zone, right?
Oh, yeah. Still damn early, but hey, it's worth it. It's fun.
What is it like? Is it 6?
I got up extra early so I could join early, because normally I'm joining late.
Is it 6 a.m.?
Currently it is 5:45.
Wow. Yeah.
So I got up about 4:30.
Oh my God.
Slept about 2 hours, so.
That's commitment.
Yeah. It's all for a good cause.
It is. It's good fun. It is. Daren, is it about 1:45 your part of the world?
It certainly is.
Okay, good. So that gives you an idea of time. So it's 9:45 p.m. where I am, 5:45 where Andy is, and 1:45, and we're all doing this at exactly the same time. Work that out. Doesn't that? It just makes your head sort of spin a bit, doesn't it? That time is a human invention, really, when you think about it. I'm just reading.
The fact it works as well is amazing. It's just
my kid asked me the other day, like, why does February only have 28 days? and we started getting into a conversation about how you could actually give February 30 days like all the other months, and some of the months that have got 30 days could probably just, some of the months that have got 31 days could probably just have 30, and we started going into all these sort of tangents, but then we started talking about lunar cycles and Julian calendars, and it got very technical, and I think they kind of got a bit confused then. I do tend to nerd out when I get questions like that.
I'm going to switch real quick from Wi-Fi to LAN. Hope they don't lose me. So let's see.
Let's watch him see if he pauses. Yep, he paused. We lost him. Pink Floyd invented it, did they? What did they invent? Dusty?
Time.
Oh, yes. On Dark Side of the Moon. That's where they found it. They found a watch. Did they? Did you guys see the photo the other day of, I forget what took it, but there was obviously some space camera thing in the space that took a photo of the moon flying in front of Earth, and you got to see the dark side of the moon, which is a rare thing. Quite a rare thing. I thought that was pretty cool. No, let's not do any of that sort of stuff. Let's not boycott anyone. No one's doing anything wrong. It's people just have to be patient. There's a pandemic happening in the world. The pandemic has affected couriers, has affected ship suppliers, has affected all sorts of things, and we just have to be a little bit more patient with companies making stuff. I think, to be honest, I think it's amazing what we're actually even able to get, considering some of the things that have been going on. So, yeah, it's one of those things. They announce, a lot of companies announce products, and you don't get them for quite some time after. I mean, you think about the Udo Super 6, right? When was that originally announced? That was probably 3 years ago, Super Booth. And obviously this year is the first year that people have been getting it, in their hands. So it's not just the company that starts with B that has that problem. The other companies have that same problem as well. I do notice, though, that Korg and Roland tend to be very silent about what products they are bringing in development, and then they will literally announce it, and then usually within the month, they're shipping. So those boutiques that we saw a couple of weeks ago, they're already shipping from Roland, which I actually think, in a way, I don't know. Tell us what you guys think? I think, in a way, that's probably the better way to do it, because then we're not sort of being left out hanging for something for so long. Yeah. When you're a smaller company, you probably don't have the luxury of doing that, I guess. Maybe you kind of want to test the market and see if people are interested before you go into a massive $100,000, $200,000 development thing. Interesting. Right.
I'd be happy again if I had the money right now.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things.
Black Friday.
Yeah, one of the things that annoys me is there's so many things that I would love to get my hands on, but you just can't have them all. There is not an endless bottomless pit in your wallet, that's for sure. Any chance of losing that? Ah, yes, I can do that. Sorry, I've left it on. That's the music. There you go. Thank you very much, Sensien, for reminding me to turn that off. I've just completely turned off that. That hiss, by the way, is not like it's sort of noise coming in on the channel. That is actually a module that's creating that hiss because it's an old Bucket Brigade delay chip that they're using. And those chips in the original days, they always were hissy. So if you remember things like Roland choruses, the 106 choruses and things like that, they all had hisses in them. And it's those chips that were hissy. Hissy chips.
You should have a hissy fit with it.
That's a good name for an album, Daren. Hissy chips.
Hissy
crisps.
Chips, yeah.
Hissy crisps.
I've got too many stuff going on without that.
Right. We're 9 minutes away from the main show, and we'll have a little chat while we're waiting for that to start. If you are new here, do jump into the chat room and say hello, make yourself known. I do notice there's been quite a few new people jumping in the last couple of weeks. It's good to see. Good to see new people. Hopefully you stick around and enjoy what we do here. Got quite a lot to get through today in the main show, so that will be moving a lot faster pace than our sort of relaxed synth geeky thing that we've just done in the last hour, that's for sure. Yes. The synth geeky thing's easy, Daren. You just sort of sit back and twiddle a few knobs and play a few tunes. It's much less stress.
I do that anyway.
Yeah, it's less stress. Does take me a while to set up though. Yeah.
But you never know whether it's going to work, even if it has been working. It's like me, even though I come in and everything should be fine, you just never know. It just randomly decides whether it wants to work.
Do you guys
How
remember?
often do you totally repatch your stuff?
Oh, what was that noise?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. It was a reboot. How often do you repatch your stuff? Like pull everything out and just start over?
Hey, can you guys talk to each other for a sec while I go and get the iPad? If I set you guys up here.
Yeah.
Hang on, just let me set you up here first. I'm going to put Daren there and Andy there. No. Where's Andy? There. There you go. You guys talk to yourself for a sec. I'm just going to go get...
Hey.
I don't... To be honest, I'm a bit lazy, actually, Andy, because I still haven't even rigged up the whole studio from when I built it. There's still stuff that needs plugging and wiring back up, yeah. So once it's in, that'll be it, I hope. I very rarely...
But the module, you said you don't use your module much, right?
Yeah, I've not been using that. That's just sat at the side but I haven't used it for quite a while.
Yeah.
So there's nothing patched in it. It's completely clear, completely blank of wires. No patches in it. So
I usually do it with mine anyway. I'd start over fresh just to get crazy with it and see what happens by accident. So
yeah, I think that's the best. Well, that's why I use mine for, is more accident sort of happening sort of stuff rather than I've planned things in it, because it's just a sound source for me to sample and then put into tracks or whatever. So I'm not. Otherwise, I'll end up sitting there with fully patched up with some sort of I don't know melody or something going, and then sit there for ages working on it and never pull them out. So it always gets pulled out pretty much every time I've used it. Yeah. Occasionally, and if there's a reason for it, so if I've got a bass line or some sort of sound that I really like and I've not got time to sample or do anything, then yeah, I'll leave it in. But on most occasions, I'm like, I just take it out and start from scratch each time.
I mean, at first I was scared. When I first started doing it, I go, I got to leave it for a while. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And then I said, this is stupid. The whole point is there's no patch memory. Start from scratch every time. And that's generally what I do. So.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. Also, I had this when I first got it set up and everything. I thought, if I keep pulling them in and out, what happens if all the jacks start going? And it's like, but then I'll never get used. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The problem though, I found out though, it takes so long to set it up each time that by not pre-patching some of it, I can't just do it for like 30 minutes. I have to do it for like 2 hours to get anything done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
do you find
there's a time sink just for setup?
Yeah. It just takes up your time, doesn't it? If you want to get on with other stuff, it's you go to your modular and then it's just like a day sort of taking up with. That's why I've I wouldn't say I've stopped using it, but that's why I've gone away from it, because I've got so much stuff that I want to do, and that'll just take a day of, nothing. Not it will be productive, but it'll be productive in a different way.
Sure. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it, but mine's got a dust cover on it now because I'm doing other stuff for now. But I do like it when I have time to put into it.
Well, do you find it
and
easy
I still
to
buy
get back
stupid
into
modules for it.
Oh, well, I'm the same. I went, I could do with a module, and then I look at it and I go, but I haven't used it for like 2 months. Why do I need a module for it?
Exactly.
But do you find it easy to get back into then if you've not used it for a while? If it's been sat there on the side and you come to it?
It is and it isn't. I mean, I often gravitate towards certain modules because I already know them. And when I first started putting stuff in, I was trying to discipline myself, like one module per night, and just fiddle with things and read the manual a little bit and watch some videos, and just do what you normally do for any kind of study. And it was kind of boring doing it that way, but it really is one of the best ways to do it if you want to actually learn how to put things together in crazy ways. Is learn as much as you can per module, and out of the whole chain. Obviously, you have to put some stuff into it to make it work, depending what the module is. But I actually like just sitting and learning because some of the things have weird names. They're not standard names. Some of the functions I don't have in other modules, you have to learn that. Way beyond the basic synthesis, like basic stuff. I have some pretty crazy ass modules that are just like, I still don't know what to do with most of them. So, but that's fun too.
I've got a couple of them. It's like, God, this is just complex. And then if you don't get into it, it's like, I'll leave that module, I'll come back to it again. And it's sort of like you never get to get in depth with it and miss all the good stuff that it's probably doing, because you sort of,
especially when you get crazy by too many too fast, you'll never get into any of them very much depth. That's what I did.
No, so. I mean, it's like, I still look at it now and I think I've got a bit of space left on it, and I think, because modules, there's so many out there and people keep coming out with them, and it's not like a big manufacturer where you're waiting for a product. It's like they might have 5 or 6 products and that'll be about it. Modules is so many different ones on such a wide range. You just start browsing modules and you're just hooked. And then it's like, but do I really need this? Do I need this one? I'm not even using the ones I've got.
Yeah, one thing that got me hooked initially, even though it probably was a year before I actually bought any real modules, is I bought the Depth for Dark Time, because I wanted a Tangerine Dream style sequencer, and it had MIDI and CV and all that stuff on it. So I used it for all kinds of synth modules and keyboards and stuff before I ever bought any modular stuff. And it's excellent. I mean, it's so much fun. The only thing it doesn't do is ratchets. You have to add the little depth for module in a small case or in a modular to do the ratcheting part, because it doesn't have that built in. But it does everything else pretty much. Either 2 sequences at once, going different directions, or same direction, or one giant, kind of like the SQ1, the Korg, but more tactile, more fine control, and a few extra features that are really nice. And you get the little chasing lights, which are fun. But it's nice. I had a little wood cabinet thing, little case it's in. So I like that a lot. Way before I got any modular.
Have you had a look at the Herbs and Stone liquid foam?
No, I haven't.
Oh, nice. That'd be up your street. And I've been always thinking they do it in a module now for the for Eurorack, but they do it originally. It was in a sort of about the same size as a Dope for Dark Energy type box, a bit like that.
Oh, nice.
But now they do it as a module. I keep thinking, do I want to get one or not? And it's like, I've been umming and ahhing about for about over a year now, and it's like, if I get the money to spare, maybe. But now they've done it. I think it was about £369 for the actual.
That's good.
Box. Yeah. And it's about the same for the module, I think.
Yeah, because the Dark Time was like $700. I'm like, do I want to pay this much for a sequencer? Little did I know, Eurorack is that's nothing for Eurorack, right?
Well, the liquid foam is like a sort of a sequencer synth all wrapped up in one. There's a little small.
Oh, nice.
Check it out. See what you think of it.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I mean, I looked at the Eloquencer. I looked at the Metropolis, the M185 that Native VS loves a lot. Is really cool. And so many other ones I can't even, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I've been looking at. And it's like, I love sequencers, but it's just at some point you can have too many sequencers. Hello.
Hi. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
Hey, look at that.
Hold on.
It works.
Oops.
I've got to remember which one to turn off. I don't want to... Have I done that? No, wrong.
Don't turn anything off. It works. It's all working.
Yeah, but I've got that horrible little screen where I can see myself on your head.
Oh, that's just Yeah, just a picture of the screen.
Oh, I always put that there.
Got it.
All right, cool.
If you get the wrong one, you tee yourself off.
We should start the show. Who's ready? Everyone ready? Let's hit the button.
All set.
Okay, let's go. Hello, welcome to another Saturday, which has just come around so quick that if you blink too long, you might miss it. No, big hello to you. Thank you very much for joining us. This is a show all about synthesizers and geeky sort of electronic music stuff that we like to do here. Big welcome to all of our guests today. I'll just quickly show you the overview here. We've got Daren, we've got Andy, and we've got Lisa. Nice full house today. And we'll start with ladies first because we haven't had Lisa on for a while. So, which one is Lisa? Lisa is number... that one.
Down here.
Yeah. Now, that says guest 3. Sorry, Lisa, I'm going to have to fix that up.
Well, I'm just standing... You can put... Andrew, you can put Brooks' name, because I'm just keeping his seat warm, really.
No,
So
you're not actually... You're not in his... There we go.
Brooks is standing. You can put...
Let's see if we can get this to work again. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yay! There we go.
Yay!
How you been?
I've been good, yeah. I've been good. I've been busy. I've got a few sets to do, which is scary, but good. So, yeah, keeping busy. Really doing well. Thanks.
Fantastic.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on. You know, you've been busy. So it's really lovely to have you back because we do value your input and also love to catch up with you as well. That's awesome. So there's a lot happening today with, you know, Black Friday and Cyber Monday and stuff like that. So we'll be talking about that. Also say hello to Mr. Andy, who's from the other side of the world in the Bay Area. Hello, Andy. How's your week been?
Yes. Hey, how you doing? Excellent. Well rested, kind of, sort of.
Fair enough. You weren't hammered too much by Black Friday spending or anything like that?
Always. It's the gas time of year for sure. But you do get deals, so you just got to watch it. You know, don't go too crazy, which is hard to do. So
fantastic. We can pick your brains a bit later about what you've bought. So we'll come back to you. And also a big hello to Daren, commonly known as DTH.
Hello.
Do you go, is it Duth? Do you just say Duth? DTH? Duth.
No, because it's a dot in between.
Oh, okay.
So you can't
Fair
have
enough.
that.
All right. How's your week been, mate? Good?
Yeah, week's been good because I've got an epic single coming out tomorrow.
Ooh.
On the channel with a really good video, and if people like it, I'll probably make it available on Bandcamp because it's a free passer, so it's like a single. So you'd have like side A, side B, and like 2 tracks on side B. That's the sort of vibe it's got. But yes, it's a bit of an epic track tomorrow. So if you all like it and you all put in the thingy, I will make it available. The B side as well, as parts 1, 2, and 3.
Exciting.
It's the Spirit Guide, part 1.
Okay. And what time is that going to be available for us to partake in listening pleasure?
It'll be around about 4 o'clock UK time, so
fantastic.
I'm not sure what that is. So you'll have to work that out for whereabouts you are in the world. But everybody, just watch it and share it because if you do like it, I'll probably, I'll probably release it on Bandcamp because and the video's good as well. So it's got a sort of, if you remember the bass heads, is there anybody out there crossed with Robert Miles' Children?
Right.
It's in that ballpark. Don't get too
bit of trancey
over Robert Miles because I'm not that good. Yeah. It's got that sort of trancey, sort of epic, vibe. So, but yeah, it's part 1 of 3. So, yeah, definitely worth it.
Well, if you were as good as Robert Miles, you'd have to smoke a chimney as well, by the way.
It's not.
That's
I'm
what
not
he used
as
to
good
do.
as Robert Miles. So that said, and I've also seen the Postman outside a few times, and it wasn't Pat.
I like your T-shirt, Daren.
Yeah, it's a good T-shirt.
Ah, yes, from the EP.
Yeah. Bit
Yeah,
of self.
I don't know these in the back actually.
Are you going to sell those as well?
that.
Bit of self-advertising there. You going to sell
What,
those?
the t-shirts?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not many people buy them, so it's not really worth it, is it?
Well,
It'll
if
cost
someone
me
wants
more
it.
to make them all. I mean, yeah, it cost me more to make them all, and then I've gone down that route once in a car thing when people wanted me to do stuff. I did it, and it cost me more money than I actually ended up selling them for. I think you'll get the grasp, Ranz. It's a lot of work. A lot of people say they want stuff, but then when it actually comes down to it, they don't want to pay for it as such. So it's one of those. I mean, if you're a big star,
Make them to order.
You've got millions of followers.
Make them to order.
That's what
I would do.
But that costs you more, though, doesn't it? Because you're not making as many.
Well, if they want one really badly, they can pay. Make it to order. Then it becomes a lot more rare, doesn't it? If people actually do have them.
Well, that's true.
Don't go giving it away. Yep. Beautiful. Right.
Do you number them so they're more? You can trace them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hand sign them.
You should have them numbered.
Well, see, I want the track tomorrow, which is a single. It's worth putting as a vinyl, but I don't know. I'm not sort of worked on doing a vinyl, but it'd be great as a vinyl track. So will the album, which will be out in 2 weeks.
There's a few good places that do small run vinyl pressings. So I think there's even one that does one vinyl, and I mean it's pretty expensive just to sort of bang out one vinyl, but you know. Small numbers, more expensive. More numbers, less expensive. You get the idea. Anyway, Lisa, can you remember what the first segment's called?
News? No. Funny side?
Yes.
Hey.
You got it. Yes. Lisa got it on the second go, so that's better than you, who got it not at all. No, actually, why don't we check this thing out? These things are called memes, and if you've never ever heard of them, they're actually somewhere at the end of the internet. And yes, you just thought what that said when you read that. You definitely thought that, didn't you? Yes, you read it exactly like you did.
Yeah.
Is that going to be one of your hashtags, Daren, with the album cover?
Hey, I might shift some if I did.
Right. We shall plod our way along through these. What about this one? When your DAW loads back up perfectly intact after it crashes. We've all had that feeling. We've all had that feeling. Yes. What else we got? Sometimes when I leave, I wonder if the synths are thinking about me. Yes. Bit of AI happening on that one. I don't know. I just don't know. You know those times you open the synth door, the synth studio door, and you just poke your head in just in case and see what's happening? All right. Last one here. New synth has over 1,000 arpeggio patterns, but none of them are in 7/4. What's with the sod t-shirt? He's a bit of a sod, that guy, isn't he? Ah, dearie me. That's it.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much, Steve, for the... let's go quickly to there, just to show it. Great. Make it online. Thank you. Beautiful. Yes, it's nice to have you, Steve. Definitely nice to have you. Right. Thanks for the £10. Okay. Who's going to say which is their favourite meme for the week?
I was going for the arpeggio one, actually.
Peggy? Yep.
Yeah,
only because it's got a bench on it.
No,
that
it's
as well.
got a bench on it.
Yeah.
That's why we chose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the album cover.
The album cover was good, wasn't it? I was going to Photoshop
I sent
the
you the
t-shirt.
last two. I wish I had made the Matrix Brute one myself, but
yeah,
that guy beat me to it.
yeah. It was a good one.
You should have memed Darren's head on it, on that one. You should have tried to get Darren's head on the sod t-shirt.
Yeah. So chatties are saying which ones they like. Sod, yes. Sod, everyone likes the sod. the last one. 1000 ARPs is Bert, and some people like the 7/8. Oh, okay. Instead of the 7/4. Beautiful. Mr. Brutes. Do you miss your brutes? I'm not sure if I ever would want a brute. I don't know. That's another topic for another day. But Lisa, you did actually say the second segment was the first segment, and the first segment was the second segment. So let's roll with that, because now we've got time for news. Oh yeah. We are going to get stuck into news today. Yep, stuck into this thing called news. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to play a video, and we're going to hit this button here. Yes, you saw it. You can get an ARP Quadra in the virtual format from Cherry Audio. Not a bad price, I must say. Who here has got this?
Thank you, Kent.
Oh, got another one. Let's quickly grab that as a screen grab. Thank you very much, Kent, for the 20 pounders. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Stay cool and fruity, guys. Yeah, we'll try. We'll definitely try to be fruity. So, who has the ARP Quadra VST from Cherry Audio? I'm going to put my hand up. Yeah, we've got two of us. Beautiful. I had a quick look at it. I haven't had a massive look at it, but I've had a quick look at it. Yeah, I actually was really, really impressed. In terms of the actual design and development of that software, I think Cherry Audio have done a really, really good job. We're gonna actually have a look at it a little bit later, but just to reiterate what that software gives you, and it's only $39 US. It gives you like basically all the aspects of an ARP Quadra as you would expect, and on top of it, they actually give you some extra stuff as well. Let's have a little look. We'll go over to the Mac and just have a little look. There is one live. Yay, look at that, it's working. So it's actually quite a decent user interface there. And it's got a whole bunch of stuff under the hood. But I really love that layout. It's actually beautiful. It's very ARP Quadra-y, like you would expect with the bass, the strings, the polysynth, and the lead. There's your four. That's why it's called an ARP Quadra. And in the middle, you've got your output mixer, which will blend all three together. But what I like is down the bottom, you've got that second row where you've got all the little effects processors there, like the phase shifter. It's the famous, I think, is it a 12-stage or 14-stage phase shifter? Chorus and flanger, echo, reverberator, arpeggiator as well. Now, a lot of that stuff wasn't on the original, but the phase shifter definitely was. So it's actually nice to have those there for you to muck around with. And what I also like is down the bottom of each of these effects, these like little effects modules, right? You can actually turn them on and off per part. So I don't know if you guys remember, but the ARP Quadra was probably one of the first multi-timbral analog synths out on the market. One of the first, not saying the first, one of the first. And they actually did it in a really, really kind of funky way. A massive synth, really. And I would love it if someone actually remade that. It's one of my favorite synths of all time. Who wants to have a quick chat about the Cherry Audio first? Do you want to have a go there, Andy, since you got it?
Sure. Unlike you, I got it yesterday. I didn't even try it yet, but I got it as part of that bundle they have.
Yep.
Forgot they called it, but it's a super bundle. You can get a whole bunch of their synths as a Black Friday deal. So it had the ARP 2600, a bunch of other stuff in it, which is pretty nice. So I'm looking forward to trying it. I always like the sound of that thing. Never seen one in person or touched one or anything, but yeah, I like what I heard. I know it's the typical, it has a Cherry Audio sound, and it's not, completely realistic like most emulations, but it sounds great, so I'm okay with it. So.
I think it sounds fine.
Yeah.
Daren, you're kind of more sort of in the box these days. Does that sort of tweak your bell a bit?
Yeah, it does. I say a bit like I've never seen one in an actual Quadra, but it sounds good, looks good as well. But I haven't got it, so I can't. I mean, you two have got it. Like you say, you've not had it long enough to really give it a good try. But yeah, it looks good. Looks good.
It does. We should actually have a little listen to it. I will get Lisa's. I know, Lisa, you're definitely not an in the box person, but what do you think of that?
It looks really good. I like the interface, and I like what I've heard of it. It's probably one of the better soft synths I've seen in a bit. So yeah, I like it.
Good price or two, not a bad price when you think about it.
Yeah.
Is that the only? Is that going to be the original price? The retail price?
No, that's the sale price. I think it goes up to 59 or 69, somewhere around there. So it's discounted at the moment. And as Andy said before, there is a bundle deal you can get through Cherry Audio, where you can get. In fact, I'll actually find out what you can get. I think they've still got their bundle deal on. I think it's valid until.
A lot of them until Monday on these.
Is it the Synth Stack? Is that the one you got? The Synth Stack?
Yeah, Stack.
Yeah,
the Stack.
So there's a couple of options with the Synth Stack. So they've got things like the Juno, the ARP 2600, that sort of stuff. So, and it's quite a lot of stuff that they've got there anyway. Let's have a little listen. So let me just check to see if this is working. Now let's double check to make sure I'm not playing anything else. Yeah, this is definitely the ARP. All right. So I'm just going to be playing patches because I haven't actually had a chance to look. So here's your little patch management section. It's sorted by categories as you would expect, and I went straight for the strings. All right, now let's see what we can do with this. Now this is the string. So what can we do to the string? Not a hell of a lot. You can change the type of wave. Octaves. It's very brassy sounding, that string system. What else can we do? We can do leads. Let's do some leads. The leading edge. How's that one? Never heard it. Let's try. So this is split. This has got a split keyboard, this patch. And you got stuff popping out in the left speaker. Sounds interesting. Let's pick another one. Let's try Area 51. That's going to sound pretty spacey, isn't it? All right, we can, if it is the lead, we can muck around with filters on this thing. So let's have a listen. resonance on this. Interesting. Any requests, guys?
Is it?
Polly?
Can you like have? Can you have like different effects, say on the polysynth, string, and then bass, or is it all actually linked like a synth, so that the effects are global?
No, you can actually turn the effects on and off on each section. So you've got, so for example,
right.
the chorus and flanger
Done.
you've got down the bottom. And I actually think you can pass, I haven't tried this yet, but I think you can pass something else through with the effects, I believe. I haven't tried it though. So this is the polysynth.
Thank you, future.
Let's get this filter happening. It's definitely got a fairly decent resolution in that. And the last one I think we should choose is a bass, some sort of bass, lucky bass. Interesting. It seems, I don't know why it's happening. I'm getting some sort of string sound coming through in. Oh, I think I know why it's doing that. Sorry, that's my mistake. Let's turn the audio off there. So with the bass, you can just put a phaser on the bass, for example. I can't really hear it. Output mixer. I can't really hear the phaser on that. Yeah. Anyway, had a little play. I like to have a little play. Anyway, that's the Cherry Audio. Quite a good VST, I think. What are the guys in chatties saying? Also, Future World Machines, thanks for the €3. Awesome. Good man. Anyone got the Cherry Audio in chat? Let us know. I didn't get to see if you said it before. I think it is probably a little bit emulaty. It probably doesn't have that real hardware charm to it, but it is very, very nice sounding. Very, very nice sounding.
Grey Wolf
A lot
Fast.
cheaper than the hardware.
Grey Wolf.
Yeah.
Sorry, Grey Wolf Fast. If it's on, you can get it on iPad.
Let me have a quick look.
I've not seen it because I'd probably have that right away if they did.
I think it's VST only. What did it come as on mine? It came as a audio unit. This is Mac, and a VST3. Yep, definitely audio unit. Let me just double check that before I say.
Yeah, Windows or Mac only.
Windows or Mac only. Yep, beautiful. All right, let's head on to the next thing on the news. I need to get this ready because I was using the same computer. And that is this thing. Let's maximize this. Press this button. And if I play this, it should work.
Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to look at some of the updates and new features found in Moog Z. One of the most major changes you'll notice is the orbit path now has a Z-axis, allowing our orbs to exist in a 3D space. You can use 2 fingers to adjust your view of the space, or double tap with 2 fingers to get a top view, as well as use the view buttons to look from the front or the left side and adjust accordingly. On the scale page, which now exists above the keyboard, you'll notice that we've increased the polyphony from 4 voices all the way to 16 voices. On the timbre page, this should look familiar to users of the original Moog, but a major new feature is you can record and add your own timbres to patches. On the envelope and LFO page, you'll notice we've added 2 additional LFOs, and now there's dedicated more buttons on all the modulation sources, allowing you to adjust deeper features. On this ADSR, you'll notice that we now have control over the curve of each stage of our envelope. And looking at the LFO pages, you now have control to introduce delay, adjust the phase, or control the number of repeats that an LFO will have. On the modulation page, we've increased the number of mod slots from 4 all the way to 10, allowing for much more intricate and interesting modulation in your patches. And on the effects page, you'll notice that all the effects are now contained on a dedicated page, and this includes the arpeggiator, filter, thick effect, delay, and looper. You can also see on the thick effect that if we look at the detune knob, that we have nice visual feedback for the modulation occurring, so we can get a sense of how our modulation affects the parameters. As you can see, Moog Z offers lots of new features, allowing for a unique and immersive experience when exploring sound design and synthesis.
Well, there you go. Moog Z. Who actually has Moog, the original one? Daren, do you have that one? Andy does?
I don't think I can't remember whether I have or not. It was on the old iPad. No, it can't be. It'll be out old iPad 2.
It's been around for a while.
Was it out then?
Yeah, it's been around for a
could be
while.
on there.
Yeah. I can't remember when it came out, but it was definitely a while ago. We'll go with Andy because he had the original, and I know Andy's pretty big on this. Andy, your thoughts on the Z, I guess, first.
Yeah, it's I've only had a brief time to play with it, but the 3D, I can actually show you here. I don't know if I swap cameras. I'll get this thing working right here. It might be flipped in your view, I'm not sure, but
yeah, it's flipped.
Yeah, it's a beautiful interface. You know, rotate on the 3D axis here, and then you can move stuff in and out and up and down. The other one was just an XY interface, which is really cool, but you know, this has a lot more timbral options with the extra dimensions, as well as having a lot more settings on it. But yeah, it sounds, I don't know if you can hear this. Is this on? I'm playing it with my Roland So nice stuff, built-in effects. Let me find a quick patch here that was better. There was some pretty. This Jingle Balls is pretty wild. So yeah, a lot more options than the other one. I can quickly show you the other one. This is the classic.
Yep.
You know, nice warm sounds in here, as well as some cool digital stuff. This engine was actually put inside the Theramini, along with some other Moog type sounds. They put this engine inside there. So if you have Moog patches, you can add them to your Theramini, which is really nice. But you know, the nice thing about this is direct control. The other one, the filters and stuff are done differently. All the stuff's right here that you normally use. You know, you can drive up. lot of timbral options right off the bat. Without even changing panels. You have tons of panels. So I really like Moog a lot. And you know, you can obviously pair anything with it. You can even pair, I haven't done it right this second, but you can even pair you know, a little Orba with it and control it wirelessly. And you know, rotate, shake it, do all kinds of stuff I showed you guys in the other video before, to give all these controls, CC controls with movement, which is really powerful. So yeah, but the original is great, but the new one is just wild.
Yeah.
Again, sorry for the reverse display. My camera got flipped, but basically it's pretty nuts. It's free, right? Same thing with the original in-app purchases. So you can download it for free, basically. I'm pretty sure.
You can, yeah. It's free.
Yeah, and then like for Moog Classic, if I wanted more MIDI features, I had to pay like $3 to add more MIDI features. Because it takes MIDI right off the bat, but if you want to do more like MIDI out with it as well as MIDI in and the Bluetooth and all that stuff, you have to pay like another $3. And there was like a 4-track mixer that you had to pay another $3 for. So they did a nice thing where here, just play with it, have fun, go crazy with it, and then if it's not good enough, you can add more stuff to it piecemeal until you're happy with the app. So it's a nice business model. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think there's a way. I think if you pay like 10 or 9 or whatever it is US, I don't know what it's Australian in my thing. You can actually
you
get the full thing. Yeah, so you can just go instead of like doing it in bits, you can just go with the whole thing. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
beautiful. Nice little demo too.
It's fun, and you can do a car. Look at the car shape here. Yes, don't know anything that refresh. Oh, damn it! Oh, there you go. You see the car?
Yeah.
So you can draw your own shapes, and you know, what does the car sound like? Rotate the 2D car.
Yeah,
so it's whimsical too.
It is a lot. I think it's a lot deeper than the original.
Way deeper,
yeah. The modulation thing
this
is probably the big area.
The other one is more of a BA.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I still think it has the warmth. I've got mine running.
Oh, there you go.
So, and I've just got the free version, so I haven't gone into buying the upgrade yet. But yeah.
You've got the iPads with a jack out, have you?
Mine is an iPad Pro 2, yeah, so it's still got the headphone jack.
And then when they lose the jack, that's a bit of a pain.
So you can actually plug it in.
Yeah, what's really frustrating, I was at the Apple store the other day to get some accessories, and you could still get a regular iPad, not a Pro, with a headphone jack. But they just completely killed it in the Pro, which is just classic Apple, just ridiculous, right?
Yeah, because I think they just want to stop people from dropping their iPads in the river, or I don't know what it is. It's all to do with stopping ingress of liquids and stuff in their devices, and at the same time to make money on dongles.
The guy told me pretty soon there won't even be a port for Lightning or USB-C or anything. I mean, they're going to seal it up and make it all wireless.
Yeah, so while it'll be MagSafe related, wireless charging, Bluetooth audio. Yeah. Yep.
And if you notice some of these apps, unless they rewrite a lot of these apps, the Bluetooth out audio either doesn't work or it's just too much latency. It's terrible. So
yeah, they haven't solved that yet. Yeah, they haven't solved it. I've got a new iPhone, the 13 Pro. So you can run the Moog on that as well. Moog. Yeah, beautiful.
Yes, I have 2 old iPad Pros because I want the headphone jacks. I just keep buying iPad Pro 2s.
Does your iPad Pro have the touchscreen issue? Because it's quite common on them.
Never.
So the touchscreen, you know how you type letters, and when you're using the keyboard, it's actually quite common on them to kind of fail. It doesn't fail like as if it completely doesn't work. But what happens is it's almost like it's got a lag in it, and you're typing on it, and some letters don't come up. It's quite common.
So I had the iPad Pro 1 when it came out, and I've had a couple in between, and then the first Pro, and then the Pro 2 and some other ones, and I've never had any problem with any of them. I mean, one did have a backlight go out, just because that happens. But other than that, it was a cheap replacement, and I had my AppleCare ran out, of course, so I had to, actually they're very nice in the store. Even though I had no AppleCare, they still gave me a real good deal on it.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
I didn't even tell them I used to work for them. So,
Fantastic. Lisa, or
iPad 2. That's an iPad 2.
Yeah, yours has got the wide connector on the bottom of it, hasn't it? The old fat
exactly.
connector.
Yeah, the old fat connector. Yeah, I only use this for not much. Actually.
Yeah. Lisa, what about you? Are you interested? No, that's not Lisa. There's Lisa. Are you interested in any iPad stuff?
I like the look of that. I really like the look of that. If I had that, I'd be playing with that all day. But I've got apple phobia.
Your interface is glitching out on us. It's got that Dalek sound again. Yeah.
I'll rejoin.
Okay. We know how to fix that. Beautiful. We'll come back to you in a sec, Lisa. Right, I think we'll go on to the next thing, which is, we'll just get it ready here. Here we go. I'm getting a little bit annoyed with that sound, but I'll just tell you guys what's happening here. So this is Expert Sleeper's new VCA Eurorate module, and it's called the Persephone. It's obviously it's a voltage controlled amplifier. This is probably the more important part. It's using a discrete JFET as a gain element. So the JFET can be kind of used to sort of give saturation and distortion on your modular inputs. They're quite well known for doing it. But the other thing is this zero crossing. Did you guys see that zero cross switch on it? That's the thing it's kind of like, is this kind of some sort of magic thing? I actually have no idea, but I'll just read to you what they've written on their website. It can be used to restrict gain changes to zeros in the audio waveform, preventing clicks and pops that can occur with very fast envelopes, especially on lower pitched sounds. So with zero cross enabled, you can actually use it as a simple gate as a CV input without clicks. So this was the thing that kind of got me really intrigued about this. I've never ever heard of this. I'm not an electronic engineer either. So very, very interested to see what people say about this. But later on in the video, I think Ian goes into, here it is here. So let's see if he's gonna show us it here. Let's have a little to see if I've got the right bit. Here we go. So you can hear those clicks when he turns it off and they disappear. So that's basically what he's talking about there. Now that's actually a kind of a cool thing, because usually what we would do to fix those sort of things is we would add a bit of attack to our envelope or something like that to try and sort of counterbalance that. But as you do that, you then lose the benefit of the fast envelope. So this is actually kind of giving us still the fast envelope sound without the clicks. Oh, I like it. Anyone want to make a comment about the, how do we say it again? Persephone? Persephone?
I just wished it more.
It's Persephone. It's a Greek
Euroman.
goddess.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Persephone.
I just wish more Euro modules will come with the LED LEDs, LED jacks. No, it shows you going in and out. I think they're cool.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so all the Expert Sleeper modules, I think all of them have the coloured LED inputs on them, Daren. So my modules that I've got here do it. Everything all right?
Yeah,
oh, thanks.
So I was just looking to see where my Expert Sleeper.
Paul was correcting me on how to pronounce it. Thanks, Paul. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to chat. Yeah. Anyone mentioning in the chat what this cross thing does? I'd be interested to see if anyone actually knows. The JFET stuff I completely under. Yeah,
The
I thought it was
crossing thing. I don't exactly know what that is.
Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of voodoo magic that they'd come up with. But yeah. Anyway, that's fine. So if you're wondering a little bit more about these, what are they? They're $185 US, and they're available soon. You can order them directly from Expert Sleeper's website. There's a whole bunch of information on their website actually, which shows graphs of how the zero crossing works. So yeah, be keen to sort of see how that progresses in the wild, as how accurate it is and everything. Lisa, did you fix your audio up? Let's see.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yay! Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it's my connection, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just in the middle of nowhere, and they don't do a better connection.
No, that's right.
So
that's right. Did you want to make a comment? A couple of things. Did you want to make a comment about?
Come and visit Postman Pat.
So you were
don't
talking.
Do you live around here?
You were talking about being an Apple phobic, and you can make a comment about the zero crossing as well.
I had the first ever iPhone. I was really excited. This is all I'd ever wanted, was a computer on a phone, a handheld computer. And I was one of the first people to ever have an iPhone. And then I got it, and they wanted another 20 quid to activate the video. So I hacked it, and then never bought another iPhone or iPad. So, but I really like that Moog program. I'd love that. I'd love that. I would spend all day messing around with that. It's almost worth getting an iPad for.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it is free. If you get yourself a free iPad, you'd actually have a free bit of software. I mean, there's plenty of iPads floating about these days, aren't there? You'd probably be able to get yourself one.
You just need to run iOS 14.4 or higher.
Yeah, that does make it tricky to get the free ones, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually they're the older ones. Yeah.
I was going to say that Expert Sleeper stuff is great. I really like that.
It's about 320.
So we'll go with sorry, Dan. We'll go with Andy first.
Oh, sorry. The Expert Sleeper stuff is nice, but those light up jacks are clever, so you know what's going on. But I don't like the way they seat. The cables wiggle.
Correct.
And they never quite feel right, even no matter which one I've tried.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got the same problem.
It's just a necessary evil, I guess. But, they make great modules, though.
Yes, they always feel. I'm actually trying one out now. Actually, let's see if I can even show you guys. Move it a bit down a bit. So there they are. There, they actually just feel kind of loose. They kind of feel plasticky. That would probably be the best way to say it, because normally you would have a metal sort of feel, and they kind of feel plasticky. Yeah.
It's like you're going through like a plastic bushing, basically. It is a plastic connection.
Yeah.
So.
They're reasonably strong though, so I haven't heard a lot of people complain about them breaking. It's just that everyone says that they just don't feel like the cable's secure in there, or they're easy to actually pull out. So I don't know, maybe they might wear over time, but it is the visual feedback is a brilliant thing.
Yeah, and even other cables, to be fair, I learned a long time ago when I started going to Perfect Circuit, trying different cables with different products. Jacks aren't universal. Cables aren't universal. There is wiggle depending on which guy you buy and which module you buy, and they're not. The tolerances are a little bit sloppy. even on regular jacks.
Yeah. Daren, you were going to say something? Or did you forget?
No, it's okay. It was only about the cheapest iPad. So yeah, it's all right. Don't carry on.
Okay.
Talking about jacks, actually, yeah, because I found that Dope for Clock. Is it? Yeah, the Dope for Clock one that you've got. You know, the clock. I forget what number it is. A162, I think. Or A16-2. I find that quite stiff to put the jacks in. You might not get. You think you've got it right in, but it's not actually clicked right in.
The clock divider.
Whereas on some other ones, yeah, the clock divider. That's the one.
No, mine's nice.
But yeah, on the jack. Yeah, it just seems to be that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
You just have to use them or you have to break it in.
Quite. Yeah, that's true. That's probably what it is. I don't use my modular enough. That's what it is. You need to.
That's it.
Get those jacks opening up properly.
They have a little plastic. I don't know if yours is the same, Daren. I'll just show you mine. There's my clock divider there.
Part bench again.
They have a little plastic insert. Where see the PAMS module next to it has a metal insert.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah,
it's the same as yours. Yeah.
So I find those like more mechanically pleasing when you plug cables in, and obviously they have more of a thud when you're plugging things. But mine's actually quite secure.
Yeah, because the Dope one, because I've got the Dope for Wasps filter. That's the same type of jack plug filter. So I presume the Dolphers are looking at the Dolphers are all the same, that plastic. So they just feel a bit tighter compared to say the mutable instruments, which and like I say, the jacks are all on modules are all so different, and like Andy says, so are the cables as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, some of the modules they're really hard to actually get the jacks in, and like you said, sometimes you can't even feel if they've gone in properly, and you think they have, and you've probably got some sort of out of phase or bad connection or something.
Hey, speaking of park bench, I got my Bastles I was talking about last time.
Well, hey,
the Castle and the Castle drum.
You see how
these are really cool little modules.
See how discreet they are? You'll be able to go on the park benches.
Yeah, just don't put them in your pocket and play with them though.
Yeah, they take 3 AA's each. So
they are pretty cool.
They are pretty cool. Yeah, very nice.
Quick look at the chatties before we go on to the next part. Yes. Beautiful. Just carrying on talking about jacks and usefulness and things like that. Okay, cool. Let's go on to this bit. I actually thought this bit of news was actually pretty interesting. So this is not anything new in terms of what's come from Arturia, but just have a listen to this. So that's the news, is that Arturia have now sort of made their V Collection stuff now Apple M1 compatible. And I went and updated mine today to see if it was true. And you go into the Arturia software center, the app that's actually part of all the Arturia stuff now. And you go in and you click update, and it updates it. And then you go into your favorite DAW and you load. Oh, I'm getting an error here. I definitely have bought this Apple's. Sorry, Arturia is telling me I haven't bought. I'll show you. What's going on? This is the thing I hate about software. This is exactly the reason why I rant daily about software. Anyway, I will sort that out in a sec. Definitely have paid for a license.
To be fair, I
that.
never get that with iLok. iLok is pretty rock solid.
I have got iLok plugged in.
But
really?
I hate iLocks. I really,
so do I.
especially if you haven't got the dongle. Oh, they're a nightmare.
But they're
It's,
so portable. You can go this computer, that computer. It's really fun. You know.
yeah,
That
but you
is-
have to buy the dongle. Just,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
70,
it's like-
and it's-
70
it's like-
US.
No, I got it for
Just-
like
just-
$30,
yeah, but
$40, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, but it's just a security
And it's
code
using a phone.
on a dongle. Why? I'm not paying a penny for that. I'd rather go and because you can do it on the computer. It just takes forever. I'm
All right.
sorry.
Well, it's the same reason I used to buy 3D software that took a dongle, a hasp dongle, because I could carry one stick would have my models, my application, and the other stick would be the dongle for security. I could go to any computer in the world. I don't need a laptop, and I can do all my work. And iLock's the same way. It's super portable if you don't want to buy more than one license.
But you can do that if you have a password. You don't need a physical key.
No, because you have to install
They
the
just-
application
they
to
just
do
get-
the password and some. I don't know. It's just it's more transparent if you move around a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but if you could lose it,
um,
you could break it. You know, you could.
So I kind of agree with both of you, but in a way, so I've got an iLock, and I've also got software that's not licensed through iLock. The thing that does my head in is what you just saw just then. Is I've already authenticated with Arturia. I've already logged in. I actually logged in earlier today. You can see there is the Arturia software center. This is the message that comes up, by the way, when you do update the V collection. It says ASC and instruments have been updated with native Apple M1 compatibility. To ensure that it works correctly, please follow these steps. Reactivate your software licenses and update each title, and you can recover activations from your account or if our website is needed. So that's the reason why it was showing that it wasn't registered, because it wants me to reactivate, which is, I guess, probably part of their software update they had to do. But you can see there it says it's activated, but you can go and view the product details. And you can see here, I have actually got to update all of those. I'm not going to do that now because that will literally just pump the stream that we've got going. So that's the reason why I haven't quite done the thing properly. I thought that you just updated the main thing, but it looks like you've got to update 30 products on top of that. But anyway, that's okay. We live and we learn. That's fine. There isn't really anything sort of special to show you. It was just basically that they gave us a couple of other little sort of, I don't know if you saw in the video, but they gave us a couple of other little features with it too, where they included micro tuning, and there's the 2 times faster really is more just because they've coded it for the M1 chip now. So that's really just the benefit that you get if you actually run something natively on a platform as opposed to going through Rosetta, which is an emulator. But the GUI and animation update, this will be big for people that like the big 4K monitors. So anyone who's got those nice big external screens that they like to run 4K, one of the things you'll notice with some of the stuff that's running on VSTs, it's all crunchy, stretched out looking graphics. What Arturia have done is they've gone and refreshed all their GUIs with the Synth collection anyway, and they'll look nice and crisp on a big 4K monitor as opposed to sort of like something's been stretched and pixely, which is a nice touch. Anyway, so thought I'd show you guys that. Who's here's got this? I think Andy, you've got the Synth V collection, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got into that one a long time ago. I finally just got the NI one because that one's always crazy money. But the Arturia stuff I've always liked. I had Arturia software way before I had the hardware.
Yeah.
But one more quick thing about the iLock stuff. I sound like I'm a shill for the company, but actually 2 more things that are good about it. One is, as a college student, I was cracking everything, and with iLock, it's much harder to crack than with the software tweaks and stuff. You can find stuff all the time on the internet that with just the software authorization stuff that's easily cracked. So they lose tons of money from that, and then your tools aren't as good and stuff. So that's one problem without using something like iLock. The other problem is you only get so many activations per money you've laid out for the product, and the iLock counts as one activation, and that's the only activation you ever need unless you need a new iLock or you break it or you lose it. So if you run out of activations, you got to pay them all over again. no matter what the problem is.
Which you should never have to.
That. So,
which you should never
you
have
shouldn't,
to.
but they often hold you to that, and you go, "Oh, great! Now I got to buy it again." You know, but iLok, it's only one activation ever, which is kind of nice. So
yeah, no, you should never have to pay for software again after you've installed it. I think it's a scam, really, in my opinion. If you have to repay for something, it's complete. People look, software developers know that people change computers. Computers don't last forever. You have to update. You might have to. You may even have a computer where you've had to replace the motherboard or the CPU because it broke or whatever. So those sort of things will force software key activations to re-trigger because it's linked usually to some sort of device, marriage with the CPU or the motherboard. So if you have to then go and repay for something because of that, like I would be straight onto the support ticket and saying, wait, none of that.
Especially
please.
Windows 10 updates, when it blows up your machine, you got to start all over again.
Windows 11 updates.
Happens a lot.
Everyone's going out and buying that thing. What's it called? The T. What's that three-letter acronym? The thing that does the security. Motherboards that don't have it, you have to enable it in your BIOS, or if you actually have to buy a dongle. TPM, yeah.
Yeah.
So
TPM,
now everyone's making bucket loads of money on TPM dongles.
You need TPM for encryption. That's why they need it on all the hardware. So
it's a good thing.
My company does a lot of defense stuff, and for defense, you have to have encryption.
You have to have TPM, yeah.
And BitLocker on the go sucks, so you have to use TPM.
Yeah. So. It does work. It's pretty good. But yeah. Anyway, another thing that came out during the week is this. If you don't even know who Valhalla are, they make some really awesome effects plugins VST-wise for both Windows and Mac. And Valhalla Supermassive is actually free, completely free, 100%. You don't need to send them your soul or your firstborn or anything like that. And I've got my Roland System 8 plugged in. So let's have a listen, see if this works. I've got a really big, very long reverb on this. Let's see what happens. I've let go of the note ages ago.
Let's say Vangelis will be proud of you.
That's pretty cool, isn't it, for a free VST? And you can see it's not using a lot of CPU on the...
I love Supermassive. It's all over my tracks.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? And I don't know if you actually know, but there's some really, really nice presets in here. So they're all kind of hidden. So you can have like Z Massive, and the one I just used then was We Are All Stardust. So, yeah. And these are basically small... This is kind of, ordered it that way. You can do sort of kind of crazy things like... So yeah, I would strongly recommend, if you haven't got that yet, go and get yourself a copy of Valhalla Supermassive. There's also another one on there that you can get for free.
Yeah, that's good as well.
I think it's called...
There's two, I think.
Frequency Echo or something?
Yeah. Even I've got them. So yeah, get them. They're really good.
They are.
Yeah, there's a mod delay as well.
Mod delay. But obviously their shimmer is that's the most famous one that he made, and there's also an update to that as well. So and they're only like, the shimmer's only like $50, and it's
that's Ty Unwin's favorite plugin.
Yeah, it is actually it's
the shimmer.
So it's actually better sounding than the shimmer that's in the Big Sky pedal by Strymon. It's better. For me, it's the best sounding shimmer out there. It's beautiful. There we go.
Yeah, the Supermassive is nice. I use Dr. A lot because I do a lot of hardware stuff, but it's nice to have something that good that's free. you can't really argue with that. So I've used that one a little bit.
Dr. A being the audio thingies thing?
Yeah, it's a delay, reverb, modular, compatible. It's a little funky with the dip switches on the bottom, but it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little bit pricey, those Dr. A's, I thought, because they are digital.
Yeah, but it's
reverbs.
It's nice. It sounds really great though. It's and it's wacky too. You can make it do really crazy stuff. I mean, that's why I saw Matt Hodson using it, and it was sold immediately, and so I had to get one. So
yeah, it was a while ago when they came out. I can't remember. I've got something from Audio Thingies. I forget what it is. Micro Monster. Is that it?
That one's nice too. Yeah.
Yeah, Micro Monster. Yeah. Anyway, that is it for the news. We've got through that. Now, the other part of the news is, which is not really news, it's the fact that we're all looking at Cyber Monday and Black Friday sales. And I thought what we'd do as part of the show is to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is in your part of the world, like, for example, you might be in America, right? And you might have this place called Sweetwater, which is doing these things right now. They're doing Black Friday sales right now. And there's some really, really crazy deals that you can get through Sweetwater. There's some crazy deals you can get through some of the other places. I'll go through those in a sec. So, for example, Sweetwater... where's the Sweetwater one gone? They had, I don't know if it's still there or not, but they had the Clark Technic Bucket Brigade delay thing, which was made by Behringer Clark Technic, same company. So that was insanely cheap compared to what it usually is. But definitely go check out, if you're in the US, definitely go check out some of these. They, God help us, all the pop-ups and everything. They had some pretty good stuff, and I'm just sort of go into the synth area, which would be... I hate sometimes you go into keyboards and it's not really the synth area, but it might be. Oh yeah, here we go. So there might be some deals there. Look at half price on a workstat by the looks of it. Some pretty decent things in there, and I think someone mentioned before the Arturia Micro something was pretty cheap, and I can't see it here. Yeah, not all of the things are deals. I don't think it really kind of annoys me about these websites. They're not all deals, you know. But the Polyend tracker, if you're wondering, that's a pretty good price. I think you can get it for about 449 euros at the moment. I think it's available direct through them. So
was it ever 11999?
Nah, never. It was never.
No. I was gonna say
it was never that.
I like when they do put those prices that there never was.
Let us know in chat if you do have a Sweetwater deal that you have stumbled across. The other one is Thomann. We'll do theirs.
Yeah, but as I found out, they get you on the import duties.
Yeah, so you've got to live in the Euro sort of zone to really benefit from these. But yeah, 60% off on some of this stuff. Download, yes, the software's 80%, hardware is 60%. Some of these things are pretty groovy. I don't know, what was that there? The Behringer RD6 is 139. I'm guessing this is US dollars. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it must be, because it's usually... I like...
Just trying to see if there's anything that pops out here. Cool. I didn't mean to click on that. I accidentally clicked on that. Okay, so there's Thomann, and then what's the sort of...
had some good deals on Behringer stuff. They used to have like the Behringer Moog unit, the Wasp. At time to time, they have some really good deals on that stuff. I think I got a TD3 there for like, it was $105. So.
Yep. Yeah. Novation Circuit Rhythm is cheap at the moment. And I can't remember if it's in the US or if it's in Thomann where it's cheap. I think it might be Sweetwater. That's it. Let's quickly check this one out. Yeah, that's definitely a good price there. So it's 100 US off. So if you're looking at a circuit rhythm, that's probably you'd have to be in the US to sort of benefit from that. I don't know what it's like if you're buying from like the UK from Sweetwater, but if I buy from Sweetwater in Australia, I get stung with massive shipping costs. So I stay away from them. I can't do it. But that price, even with the exchange rate, is actually pretty decent. You can actually buy.
They're also slow, to be fair. The Amazon is super fast with shipping, and Sweetwater is slow. I never get something fast from them.
No, they're slow with me when I bought something from them years ago as well. So nothing's changed. So the other thing was Erica Synths are having a discount on some of their stuff, which I just need to double check where it's at. Just give me a sec. Yeah, so I think it's Thomann for the Erica Synth stuff. So we'll try and get that up for you guys.
In fact, I think the best TD3 demo they had was, or deal was the purple one.
Yeah, that's my favorite, as you guys know. I don't know if it's showing these deals on Thomann here. They definitely don't look like they're percentage off at all. No, that's not working for me. You've really got to know how to hunt around. Let's see if we can try and find that Erica Synth link in a sec. Just give me a sec. I'll just see if I can grab it here. It's around about 25%. Yeah, there we go. So if you search for black wavetable VCO, that's just an example. Yeah, there we go. It's got, if you look at it, it's got a little.
Here's my bit of advice.
Just one sec, Dan.
Demonstrating now.
It's got a little Cyber Week thing next to it. Just if you're on the Thomann website, just look for those, and you'll see. Because that's $295. Oh, it's in US dollars. It's 295 euros reduced from 326. But you can see that it's a Cyber Week deal. So that's the thing to look for on the Thomann website anyway. Yeah, go for it, Daren. Sorry, just wanted to finish doing that.
Well, you were just demonstrating what I was going to say about well, especially for Black Fridays. But if you're having to search for something on the Black Friday deal, then you don't need it, because you would know what you want without having to search for it to find out whether it is on a Black Friday deal or not.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I kind of feel that some of the deals aren't that great. Like in previous years, you've had some really like. Lisa, do you remember a few years ago we got the Circuit Mono Station around this time of the year, and they were like insanely cheap. They were like 50% or more discounted. So
yeah, it's half price, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I haven't seen many like cool sort of synth deals like that. Even the Polygon track is not that much off. It's only like, I think it's only like 15% off. And even the Circuit Rhythm is only $100 off, which not bad. It's like 30-40%. It's a decent deal, but
you need to want it then, don't you? It's like,
yeah, Korg have got some deals. There's the NTS1 and the Volcas. I can't remember where they are. It might actually
the NTS1 assembled, right?
It might be Sweetwater. Yeah, the NTS1 assembled. Yep.
Yeah. Because I had to buy it unassembled. It was easy to put together, but it's nice if it's cheap and assembled.
I don't know if that's a... See, I have no idea whether that's actually cheap or not, because I don't live in the US. So you guys will tell me. Yeah, 79 euros. Is that about 99 US? Or is 79 euros 99 US? 79 euros 79 US. I can't remember what the exchange rate is for you guys. That doesn't look like it's the right thing there, is it? That's a kit.
Yeah, it's usually just a little bit higher for the US.
Yeah, and that's
Not
the
too
kit.
much higher.
So I don't think that's the right thing. Anyway, so 79. I don't know how to find it, but it's 79 euros for the NTS one, and the Volca FM. I can't remember how that was. How much it was? 100. Oh, the Volca FM is 105 instead of 135. So that's not that massive, but they're always pretty cheap anyway. Those sort of things, aren't they? So. All right, chatties, have you come up with any sort of major deals and you found them and you want to share it with us? Yeah, the thing that makes me laugh too is some of these retailers are probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, they'll put all their prices up back to like MSRP, maximum price. So that when they have their sales, they can say, look how much you're saving. It's one of the techniques that they use. Dirty.
Do you have an NTS one?
I don't have an NTS one, no. I never got to that.
Okay.
No.
I got it because I was trying to save having to buy a Minilog XD as well, since it's kind of the brain of the XD, the digital brain and the effects. But it's not quite the same thing. So.
Yeah. I did mention you guys last week that Dom's in the chat, Mr. Wiggly, saying Arturia is 50% off on the V collection at the moment. I got my upgrade from an older version for $99 US, which was, I think it's more than 50% off. So if you already got an older version, you want to upgrade, it's actually pretty cheap. And I think
you still have to buy SQ80 separately.
Do you really? Okay.
Yeah.
I actually
UVI is doing that too. There's certain UVI things that aren't part of a bundle.
That is nasty.
So
there is no SQ80 in. There's no SQ80 in the. Oh yeah,
it'll be in the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is nasty. Any other ones from the chatties? So there was someone mentioned before there was 100 off something. Let me see if I can find that before it goes. Ranzee's shopping channel. Yep, you got it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to help you guys find the deals. That's if you didn't find them, that's the whole thing here. Someone mentioned something about 100 off something. I think I've lost it now. It's gone. It's gone. Will said the Wasp is 25% off at Toman. That's not too bad. TD3 for $89. Dusty River got last week. That's not too bad. That's a pretty good deal. And the problem with the Volca FM is it just doesn't have enough voices. It's got 3 voices. It's just not enough. I mean, it's a digital synth. Should have more than that. It's stupid. Lisa, have you still got your Digitone? Is it called Digitone? The FM thing?
Digitone, yeah. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, but I don't ever use the sequencer on it. I keep it because I know that if I hook up to like a Neutron and use conditional trigs and like some nice reverb, it's quite a good machine. But really, it's just controlled by the MPC. So I've got 4 different voices, which is, that's useful. That's useful to have 4 different tones.
Yeah. And you can
Did you try the arpeggiator on it?
Sorry.
It has a really fancy arpeggiator. Have you tried that?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's all right. It's nothing I can't do on the MPC though. I mean,
that's true. It's Electron special stuff, but yeah.
It's the one box. It's the one box. If I had to go away on holiday, I'd take it because I wouldn't get bored of it.
Yeah.
But day to day, I haven't got time. It's programming. It's not on the fly jamming for me. You can't jam on I can't jam on a Digitone. I know people who can, but I can't.
It's
Well,
a
you won't
special
know 'cause
skill.
I can't jam.
I'm real bad with it. So
Yeah, but you're allowed. You make great albums, so you're allowed not to jam. I was saying to someone the other day that you're my perfect partner, right? Because you do all the bits I'm too lazy to do. So you give me all these samples. I mess around. I get the fun bit, and then I just send them back to Daren, and he does all the hard work. Brilliant.
Yeah, putting tracks together is it's not always fun, is it? $100 off, or €100 off Pete Cannon Polyend tracker, says Future World Machines. That was the one I was looking for. Yeah, beautiful. 40% off modal electronics at Greek shops. Yeah, I noticed there was a discount on the modal stuff here in Australia. I don't know if it was 40%, but it was definitely. Let me just have a quick look at my retailer here. There's definitely Black Friday stuff happening here, but it's just not. It's nothing that you wouldn't go rushing out and getting it.
I think Perfect Circuit had this on sale, the Soma Ether. It's a good stocking stuffer. You seen this
what's
before?
that like? I've seen that a few times.
Yeah.
So there was an old thing from Czech Republic or Poland I bought like 10 years ago, similar, that picked up all the RF interference from all the devices and stuff, but it was more directional with these little kind of like probes sticking out of the front of it. But this thing just grabs anything, anywhere you're. The original video that Vlad did of this walking through the Moscow subway station was crazy. Just all the noises from the lights and the escalator and the signs and everything. I walked through some of our labs at work with all the crazy lasers and high powered supply and other wacky equipment, and got some of the craziest fun noises ever I could never have made with a synth or a sampler. And then you could Paul stretch it. You can do all kinds of fun things with it. But it's a Soma Ether. It's like, I think it's like $100, something like that. It's a good stocking stuffer.
Yeah, nice. In Australia, we have a retailer called or Manny's or Store DJ. And if you are Australian and you're watching, there are some pretty good prices on the modal stuff as what's his name? Marcus Seg said in Greece has also got some good. They're not 40% off here though. They're I worked out it's a little bit under 30% off, but it's still pretty good. This is Australian dollars too. If you're looking at this from another country, Australian dollars is, what is it at the moment? 1 AUD to USD. So it's about 71 cents. So it's not very powerful at the moment. Australian dollar. It's pretty low. It's dropped right down. In the last, probably in the last month, it's lost about 5 cents. So yeah, probably not a good time to buy stuff in Australia. It'll be expensive. So yeah, that was a good pickup, that one. Yeah, it just really depends on what you're after. Like you guys said, if you know what you're after, you're kind of keeping an eye on the price. For me, I was keeping an eye on the Arturia stuff because I wanted to upgrade, and I was raging at those prices a few months ago. And they finally dropped them, so that was an easy thing. And I thought it was $40. It wasn't that expensive to get that ARP Quadra VST. I thought it was good fun.
That's a good deal.
Bird is saying Strymon have got some limited edition effect boxes. Let's see if we can find that out. See if we can find that out somehow. Is that through Toman or something, or somewhere else? Should check it out. Or maybe just Strymon direct. Strymon.net, is it? Let's have a look. Here we go. It is. Good pickup. So if you're into the Strymon stuff, this might be the way to go. Black. Wow, that looks nice, doesn't it? The big sky in black.
Yeah, in black. Yeah, that's nice.
So free ground shipping on domestic orders for over $49. So let's have a look. Let's have a quick look here. The big sky is usually pretty pricey. Sold out. So $479. What is it usually?
Is that dollars?
That's US, yeah.
It's about that in pounds usually. Thereabouts.
Okay.
49, something like
So that's a little bit cheaper than normal then, is that? I'm thinking.
I would think so.
Okay.
Well,
So
it wouldn't be for me to buy. Yeah, by the time it ships over here, though, it probably isn't.
Limited edition.
But it's in
midnight pedals.
black.
Yeah, nice. Well, if you are sort of gassing for a Big Sky or an El Capitan or a Deco or something like that, and you can get one in black, it's probably pretty cool. I've already got a Big Sky, so I don't need one, but I wouldn't mind a El Capitan. I reckon that'd be cool. The only problem with pedals though is you've got to sit them somewhere and they've got to be powered, and it's just another thing that you got to do. I'm kind of more into the rack sort of effects these days.
And if you don't buy right angle cables, it takes up too much space. And
Yep, you got it. Henrik saying XOR Electronics have 25% off most products. They're the company that makes the Nerd Sequence, which is a Eurorack module. It's a pretty cool module, the Nerd Seek. I don't need it myself, but if I didn't have all the sequences that I've got, I would probably be getting one of those. They're pretty cool. Napalm's saying that's his second Big Sky. Wow. Why would you want a second Big Sky?
He's running one massive reverb into the next.
yeah, reverb to reverb. That's a good one. Yeah.
Can't you use effect sends and returns though on a mixer? Wouldn't that kind of?
Yeah, but it depends if you want the same reverb. You might not want the same reverb.
He sold the first one. That's fair enough. That's what I thought he meant. Yeah. You probably wouldn't get to.
I just thought with a line of them, a line of Big Skies, all with a slightly different reverb, just till it's literally never ending, and leaves it on for the rest of the day, waiting for the tail to die.
If you put the 50-second one into the other 50-second one, you can start doing the maths. The biggest tail one is 50 seconds, isn't it? The biggest tail on that? I'm pretty sure it's 50 seconds. Someone will tell us what it is. But yeah, that would be pretty
It'd be
insane.
just the YouTube thing where he just comes in, he presses a key, and then the YouTube goes on for like an hour.
Like what I did before with the... Oh, it's the wrong one now. I should put it back. That
There was a guy before
Valhalla.
Eurorack really took off. There was a classic 5U modular guy who used to set up his room with cables going across the room and a big, massive spaghetti. He had to do like a limbo under the cables between all the walls in the room. And he would just run it for days and days and days. It would evolve over time. But you couldn't live there, right?
I have to show you guys this. 1200 millisecond delay. What does it go to? Okay, so it goes to 2000 milliseconds there, and then the feedback, and then the density and all the depth and all that sort of stuff. That was it. Let's get more mix.
You're in Sagittarius mode.
Yeah, Sagittarius.
Cool, best mode ever.
There you go. That's pretty decent. Let's leave that running in the background while we're talking. See how long it takes for it.
You could do it with this, couldn't you? Because it's free. Couldn't you kind of get it again and again and again and do what we were saying?
Yeah, you could do
That'd be a great YouTube video.
A send, yeah. Do it into a send loop. Yep. That'd be crazy.
That would be people would watch that. There you go.
People would watch that. Paul's got a dumb question. Let's see what his dumb question is. Can we use a guitar pedal power supply like the Voodoo Labs for synths with wall wart power supplies?
No.
It depends.
It's all about polarity and milliamps and, barrel size. You got to be at the right barrel size.
Barrel size, voltage, amps.
Wattage, yeah.
Polarity. So center positive, center negative. But some of those like multi-powered, like the one-stop ones that we were showing before, some of those multi-powered sort of pedals, they actually have switching in them that you can change the polarity in them. So you only just need one cable, and then you can switch from center negative to center positive. You can go from being like 4 volts all the way up to the 18 volts, because the Dunlop pedals, like the MXRs and that, they're 18 volts. And some of the older Roland Boss pedals are 12 volts as opposed to 9. So yeah, some interesting sort of things that you'd have challenges there, I reckon. So
and
yeah,
all the old Elisa stuff is AC, no DC in the mix at all.
Yes, that's true. There's AC pedals.
So,
yeah.
With real pain.
Yeah,
Can't put a battery pack on it.
I've got a brick thing which has got like about 7 outlets on it and 2 at the end, so 9 altogether, but 2 at the end are AC. So you got 7 DC and 2 AC. And I forget which pedals I've got, which are AC. I've got a couple. I can't remember what they're called though. The Moog are weird as well. If you've got the not the mini Fogers, the bigger ones, the Moog ones, the wooden ones.
Are they 15 volts?
No, I think they're. I can't remember. I think they're either 9 or 12, but they're the opposite polarity to what all the Boss pedals are, and they usually take a bit more juice too. So you'd probably need like a 1 amp or a 2 amp sort of pedal.
Like my Zero Coast works in either 12 or 15 volts, but you got to get everything else right.
Yeah.
So it's
crazy stuff. I wouldn't just go be plugging synths in, synth power supplies in. You'll blow your pedal up.
I thought, because sometimes you can use a battery that's a little bigger than normal, because it's like a gas tank. Normally it doesn't really attack the circuit, but I found that hard way on the SE01 has the EXT box. And I found a perfect battery for the SE01 to make it portable, but the EXT box needed its own power because it's a little bit different different rating. So I said, I'll use this little battery. This should be just fine. And I burned it out. I had to buy another one. You got to be careful with that stuff.
I'm just I'm just getting something in here for Lisa. Right, so Lisa, I've only just done 2. So we've got the Supermass on 2000 milliseconds, 100% mix, and then I'm going to send that into C, which is another Supermax. No, that's not that one. That one there, sorry. So we'll send that in, and so we've got Supermassive from System 8 going into Supermassive, going into Supermassive. Let's see what happens. Look, Mum, no hands.
Yeah. Ah, that's it.
Should we pop down to the cafe and grab a coffee and come back a bit later and see if it's finished?
I just made a drone. Yeah, there you go.
You could easily make drones with this stuff. And it's only sitting at, what, 15% CPU load? It's not bad. There you go. We'll come back to it a bit later. It is slowly fading now. I can hear it fading. But I mean, you could easily get that to resend on an FX loop if you wanted to. I could set it up, but I don't want to cause any sort of dramas on the show. Things crashing and stuff.
It's interesting that it's more than the sum of its parts. So it's more than twice as long as those. What was it? 2000 milliseconds or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's longer than 4000 milliseconds. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, because the tail feeds in to then it feeds into that and it picks that up and it resends it. So yeah, and then you could probably actually I haven't got the feedback up on that either. I could probably turn the feedback up to 90%. Yeah, it's still going, but it's very quiet. You can just see it. It's still going. So that was probably what, a couple of minutes, a good couple of minutes there. Yeah, I reckon you could have fun with that. There's ways to do send and returns through mixes that you can get infinite droney sort of loops too. It's good fun. We should do that. We should do that in the show. I reckon we should work out how to do drone sounds and then grab the tail out of them and chop them up and sample it and stuff. It's good fun. Daren, you like the reverse sort of stuff, don't you? The reverse reverbs and
Yeah. Well, any reverbs. I mean, I'm always chopping up reverb tails and sticking in my tracks.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the ambient stuff comes from.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah.
I mean, how cool is that VST? I mean, seriously, forget about all the sales and the discounts and stuff out there. That Valhalla Supermat, we should send, his name's Sean, the guy that runs Valhalla? I think it is, it's Sean. We should send Sean some love. Honestly, if you guys know Sean, send him some love. Tell him that
Every
we love
track
him.
I've written this year has got Valhalla, has got that Supermassive on it at some point or somewhere this year.
Yeah.
Because I got it at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, no, it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. I think we have run the course of the show, people. We have got to the end, and we're playing with reverb tails. We're getting nerdy.
I was just going to say a couple of the deals that were good were IK Multimedia and UVI. And there's a fun one you might want to check out if you've never heard of it before called, I never heard of him, but Richard Devine loves these guys, apparently. Krotos Dehumanizer. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it's really fun. If you like vocal stuff and monster sounds and weird robot voices, I haven't had a chance to fire it up yet because I just got it. But the video for Krotos Dehumanizer, yeah, and it's insane.
Is it with a K or a C?
With a K.
Krotos
Dehumanizer. They make like auto car sound like generator things for video games. Slice and dice tools. They make some pretty clever tools. It's Richard Devine's all over the website.
All right, let's have a quick look. So it's half price, 50% off at the moment. It's still pretty pricey though for me.
Yeah, it's expensive stuff in general. They have a bundle. It's like $2,000 or whatever, but the video for the Dehumanizer is pretty fun.
So basically, it turns a voice into a synthy sort of sound, does it?
You get kind of like with a graphics program with the tree diagrams and the workflow. You can actually move things around in kind of modular style, and layer things and reroute things and do crazy stuff with pitch shifting, slowing things down, speeding things up, reversing things, robotic stuff. You can even use it to trigger animal sounds. It comes with a library of animal sounds. And if you want to do like a T-Rex or a crocodile noise or something like that, which is kind of like a T-Rex sound that they've used, you can speak into the mic or make sounds with the mic that triggers it, almost like a pitch to MIDI thing, but driving sound effects with your voice.
Mm.
So I've never seen anything like that. It's kind of clever.
They've got bundles too. So if you wanted to get more stuff, you can do a bundle. They're pretty pricey though, but all their bundles are 50% off.
I've never heard of them before, but they're pretty fun though.
What? Hold on, they wanted $6,000 for some software.
Yeah.
Am I reading that right?
It's like multiple software.
It's aimed at Hollywood folks, game designers, Hollywood folks, stuff like that. So 250
gig worth of software.
But for $200
Pro
bucks,
weaponizer.
it's a really cool vocal processing thing. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Get a PFD with them though.
You know the one that you never really see on sale is Omnisphere. You never really see that on sale, do you?
Yeah.
They never do. That's the good thing. So if you buy it at any time in the year, you know it's not going to be suddenly cheaper on Black Friday.
I guess so.
That's I think I like that idea because you're never going to feel as though you've missed the boat. And when you haven't got any money, it's like, you spend all your money like early on in the season and then you think, oh, people are, well, I got it for like half price. Did you? Did you? I spent full price. So I like that idea, especially when you're a bit on the old skin side.
I used to live in Malaysia many, many moons ago, and in the city called Penang, they've got this massive shopping centre called the Comtar, which is a multi-story high-rise tower, and it's like level after level after level after level of electronic shops. And you can just imagine, like, I went in there to buy like a tape player with speakers, that sort of ghetto blaster sort of style back in the day. And I went into one shop and I bought it, and I walked out, and I walked down about 3 doors, and this Chinese guy comes out and he goes, how much you'll pay for this? And I'm like, I told him, you know, say it was $100. He goes, I would have got for you for 80. And like, it is so bad. Like you just walk around the whole place and everyone is trying to kill everyone. And it's a little bit like the Black Friday deals going on right now. Everyone's trying to uncut everyone.
To be honest, I'm surprised you ever found your way out of it, to be honest, Ranz. I'd probably still be walking round.
It's like, it is. It's a circle, that place. And it's like level. They all look the same. Each level, like there's sneakers, there's electronics, there's jewelry, and every single one of those shops look the same. It's crazy. Yeah. No, you do kind of work your way around once you sort of get to know the place.
Macau has a place like that. They call it the racetrack.
Yeah, I've been to that one too.
A lot
Yeah.
of the women parade around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, I think that actually might be bigger. Because it's quite wide.
Place.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Because if you finish doing the sort of casino stuff, you go there. Yeah. Fantastic.
Heads asked about Name That Synth.
Oh, we have forgotten it, haven't we? Oh my goodness. We've forgotten it. We got stuck into the cyber stuff and we forgot all about Name That Synth. Shall we do it? Because I have it ready.
Oh, we're getting a few asking.
Okay. Let's let me get this working so you guys can see it. All right, and we need to make that full screen. All right, let's do Name That Synth. Okay, so firstly, I've got to roll the stinger. Where's it gone? Okay, let's do. Thanks for reminding me. I actually went to all the trouble to actually film this, and I completely forgot about it. All right, let's go. What you have to do is watch the video. I'll stop it towards the end, and I won't show you what the synth is, but this is a visual sort of fest of parts of the synth that you'll see, and then you're listening. This is your listening skills. If you can identify the synth, jump into chat straight away and tell us what you think it is. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. You know, partial guesses might actually win you the bragging rights for the week. You don't actually win anything because it's a very cheap show here. We don't have any sponsors, but you'll have bragging rights. Isn't that cool? It's a cool thing. So anyway, let's go across and we'll run the video, and I've got to keep an eye on the video here. Here we go. Right, so Name That Synth, hey? Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got. Have we got anyone correct so far? No one's correct. Some really, really good guesses. So a lot of people are saying Base Station 2. Interesting. SH101 even. Wow. Circuit, question mark? JDXI, question mark? This synth is an SH01A. Maybe. Well, we might have someone who has got it right. Let's see. Let's go back and see. Let's go back and see. There you go. Yes, Manny got it correct. Well done, Manny. Dr. Synth. Well done. Brilliant. AN200. That was a difficult one. What do you guys reckon? Any of you guys got anywhere close to it?
Yeah.
I was thinking Daren should have recognised the sound of it.
Yeah, but you see, I was still stuck on the AN1X, and I knew it wasn't that. Well, it is, but not that in keyboard form.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't get it, because I wasn't thinking of the AN200.
I did an FFS video for it, and I couldn't quite get it in the first try. So,
So what's tricky about that synth is it's completely digital. It's an analog modeling synth, and I could have done a poly sound or anything. I decided to pick sort of like a mono sound, just try and throw you guys off. But I did purposely go back during that playing of that mono sound, and I started adding the built-in effects, because you're allowed to do that with this. As long as the synth has the effects built into it, you can use it. So I added the, if you look at the graphic here, you'll see on the right-hand side, it's got the distortion switch. So you turn the distortion switch on, and then I added the delay effect, which that whole sort of bass synth started to sound stereo. And there's a kind of sort of your dead giveaways with that thing. I think the knob should have given it, I think that's when Manny probably discovered it. So when we got to the knob, which was kind of...
that mustard color. The mustard color is the giveaway.
That part of the video there, that would have given it away. But then, I don't know if you guys recognize that, but that's actually a blurred Yamaha logo right there with the Y next to it. So that's the Yamaha logo that you see up in the top left-hand corner. So there you go. Good fun. Yes. I'm glad I'm glad you guys reminded me to do that, because I would have been annoyed if I didn't.
You didn't do eBay scammers.
Oh, we didn't either. Should we do that?
Yeah, they've been asking for that.
Price watch.
Sure.
Price watch.
That's always good.
All right, let's do it. All of these are all been set up, ready to go. All right, let's get stuck into it. Price watch. Boom. Let's start off with something in Australia. Let's actually get rid of that and go like this way. So, Roland TR808 Rhythm Composer for $10,500, which is about £5,000 if you're wondering. This is an Australian listing. Now, so some of these, so if you're ever watching this and you think to yourself, I do say scammers on here, I say price watch. It depends on the actual listing. Sometimes we'll say this is just us keeping an eye on how much things are in the used market. And just because someone's asking for something, it doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's sold for either. So let's keep it real. So this is a bit of a theme this week, because the next one is another TR808. This one was sent in by Andy. So this one is in US dollars. So the first one was cheaper than this one. So you got to price it around.
But that one was slightly better.
Yeah. The thing is, I just don't get why these things are selling for so much. Really, they're not anything that amazing, to be honest. I don't know. People will disagree with me, but they're not that amazing.
No, I'll agree with you. I'm a complete techno head, and yet I have no wish for an 808 or even a 909.
Yeah.
I've moved on. You know, there are better drum sounds.
Did I put a 909 on here? Actually, no, I didn't. There was a 909 that Andy gave me, but I didn't put it on here. But speaking of drum heads, what about this one? A DMX. You can get yourself a nice little Blue Monday sound out of this. That one actually does have MIDI, which is... did they? I don't think, Andy, they didn't all have MIDI, did they? I think the first models were...
I think it was either a retrofit or the later models. Yeah. I can't quite remember.
So that. I believe that is the Blue Monday drum machine, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not too bad. $3,800 US. I wouldn't say that's like cheap stations or anything. Yeah. And the last one is a Lindrum for $8,000 US. And I've seen Lindrums go for more, and I've seen them go for way less, of course. And that's not Roger's actual shop, because it's spelt with a D. Roger Lindrum's got no D in his name, but this is Roger's shop selling an Lindrum at Laguna Beach in California. I don't know if I'd spend $8,000 on a Lindrum. They are beautiful though. They do sound really lovely. and they've been used in so many hit records. It's insane. So there were all drum machines this week, and there was actually, you know what? I'm going to include the TR-909 because I mentioned it, and everyone will be like, "Oh, why don't you put the TR-909 in?" So I will, just because everyone whinged. If I can find it, where's it gone? Where has it gone? Here it is. Let's do the TR-909. Boom. So what was the 808? The 808 was 13 grand US, and the 909 is...
It's black.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be black.
Custom job.
Nice. I'll take my words back on that. I quite like that because it's black.
Yeah, because I always liked those. Yeah, the keys.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
Still won't pay that much for it, but...
Yeah, I don't think it's that nice black, Lisa.
No, it's not. It's not $8,000 worth of black, is it?
Yeah. Let's not eat for about a month. No, it's not that good.
So years ago, a friend had each one of those.
That'd be
and
2
I think
years for me.
He sold his 808 to some guy who wanted to rack mount it to do a custom mod to it, and he sold it for it was like $2,000 back in I think 2006 or whatever for the 808. And the 909 he sold around 2011 after we did some tracks with it. For about 2,500, something like that. And now the prices are insane, of course. So,
Moog Child Synthdrome in what is it? Bodilla del Monte in Spain. Yeah. Brooksy will be telling me off how I pronounce that too. He'll be watching it right now. He'll be telling me off.
Well, the double L is a Y sound, but you were close though.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right. That's too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have in the US. You guys have quite a lot of this Mexicans and Hispanics and that sort of living in your community.
I took Spanish in high school.
Yeah.
I can use it here.
So you're much more influenced by it. But in Australia, we don't have a lot to do with the Spanish language at all here. Unfortunately,
it's also the easiest language to learn. German is tough, and so is French, I think. So.
I did French at school.
Yeah.
Let's face it, English is even hard for us.
Well, yeah. Well, I can't even speak that right. Yeah. There you go. So we managed to squeeze in
Americans often like to complain about people speaking languages badly, like English, but then someone from Europe often knows 5 languages.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's kind of funny.
I actually studied linguistics, and I don't know why I did it, but I did another degree, and this is years ago.
Understand that.
And I studied in linguistics. I studied this project. We did this Italian village in northern Italy, and everyone spoke 3 languages in the course of their day. So they had Italian, obviously. They had German because it's near the German border, and they also had a local village dialect that they spoke as well. And it depended on the type of conversation and the person that you were having as to which language they would speak. So if they were speaking like in a formal sense to like the judge or a policeman or something like that, they would speak German. If they were speaking to everyone on the street, they would speak Italian, and inside their household, they would speak their local dialect. So there you go. And there's probably people in the chat saying, that's what we do every day.
Well, I suppose that we have a dialect. It's probably not, you couldn't really transmit it over live now for kids, but yeah.
You mean the slang that we say, the swear words?
Yeah.
Okay, while we're on language, can I just ask Ranz? You have a collective name for bed sheets and pillows, don't you? Is it a name of a store even? No?
I'm trying to think. Manchester?
Yes, that's it. There you go, Daren. They have stores called Manchester with like. Oh, I heard it the other day and I thought, oh well, I could ask, haven't I?
Yeah, I never realised that. Is that an Australian thing? Is that? Wow.
Yeah. I heard it on a comedy show, and he was from Manchester, and he was in one of these shops, and somebody called, "Can we have someone from the Manchester to report to the desk?" And he kind of went up. He goes, "I'm here."
So next time, whenever I think about whether I want some Manchester, I'll think of Daren. Oh, can I have some Daren?
That's so.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Daren needs a bit of a press.
Some Rave Dave signature sheets.
Yeah,
It's quite funny. Wow. I don't think we use that term very often though, honestly. I think it's used in more of a sort of like, you know how like you go to a restaurant and they like to sort of spin up the ingredients of food in, you know, if you're having a burger and they're like, you know, the onions are sauteed from the highlands of, you know, that when they use words like Manchester,
rested on the pellet in Manchester.
Yeah. I don't think people
curious,
use
is
it.
there an Australian version of Cockney rhyming slang?
Well, we have Australian slang, and it's not called Cockney though. It's just called.
But I mean, like this kind of the play on words stuff, or not?
Oh yeah, we definitely have. Yeah, if you ever want to, I mean, TikTok's a great source of listening to that sort of stuff. There's if you have TikTok as an app, search for Pepper the Pig in Australian.
Oh, I've seen that.
And you've basically
Probably not
got
best for us at the moment.
it's not the right audience right now. But yeah. Oh, speaking of TikTok, I actually think I might have something to show you guys. I think it's here.
Oh, you've not been on a park bench too, have you?
No. All right. You guys might like this. This should have probably gone on Funny Side. Maybe I should show this next week. Bugger, I'll show it to you now. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
That's just wrong. That's just so wrong.
Nice reverb there. Yeah.
Oh. You know, one of those things that you wish you could unsee. That's one of those things.
There's a guy like that who does the magic trick where he pulls the thing off his body and has like teacups on it. It's a similar guy like that. It's not musical, but he does weird stuff on camera.
I don't want to know about that, Andy. That one, it slipped my mind what that was. Actually, the actual music. Someone in the chat will probably know. It slipped my mind.
Potter.
Harry Potter. That's right. Yeah, that was brilliant. Sorry. Teacups for bass. Good on you, Manny. Dear. Yeah, sorry. You'll never ever. You guys are going to have to go and like stab yourselves in the eyes now that you've seen that. That was pretty bad. Yes, we don't do things that serious on this show, do we? All right. Yes, Steve feels sick. I
have one more thing to show if you want to see something else. I had never used the PC version or Mac version before, but I got a Black Friday deal on the Akai Multimedia Syntronic set. It's kind of like the UVI synth collection kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
based on samples, and I had forgotten that I actually have the iPad version already, which is much reduced, and I think you have to buy more stuff for it.
I think Inky's gone.
But so it's kind of hard to beat that last thing, right? So
no, keep going, Andy. We need you to be the gel in the show right now.
But I had totally forgotten I had this on the iPad, and I just bought the bundle they have on the Black Friday deal, which is pretty nice stuff. This is a reduced set. I think I have to upgrade this to get more goodies. But I don't know if you've seen this at all. Syntronic.
Oh, nice.
It's really pretty basic.
Oh, Pro V. Nice.
Let's see. I probably have to unlock some more stuff here, but not the best sounds on the on this version. I have to probably pay more to get more goodies. But the demo I saw on the bundle you can buy, the Black Friday bundle on the Mac and PC is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So you look up IK Multimedia, you can see that. There's another half. I think it was another half price deal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see a post on Tom's site, Synth Anatomy, about that. So yeah, that's definitely a good pickup. I didn't know it was for iPad as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, I totally forgot about this because they were talking about it on Pro Synth Network yesterday. And basically yesterday. And I never heard of the bundle that I knew of. And then I go, oh, I got it on the iPad.
There you go. I think that there was Korg Gadget and
Gadget, yeah.
What's the other? The gadgets for the iPad, but for the
module,
for
Gadget,
the VST
module, a couple different Korg.
Yeah, they were on sale as well. I think they were 50% off. So yeah, they were a good one. Lots of people in chat are saying that they that this guy plunged right into music. You don't need synths anymore. You can just get yourself a couple of plungers. Thanks, Pat. Wagu's saying,
be careful, Wagyu, if he's going to try that.
Wagu's going to try it later. Just don't go chasing the rife around the house with a plunger. That's all I would say.
I'm going to say you look like you're attacked by a giant octopus after a while. So you got all these marks on your body.
You've been to that one of those shops that they put the hot rocks on you.
The Chinese, they put the Chinese cups on you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Beautiful. What a great show that was today. It was good fun. Enjoyed it. Good. Nice to have everyone enjoying it with us too. It was really, really good. We are going to have to end it because it's just about to hit midnight here, and I actually turn into a pumpkin. I'm sorry, and I can't show that online. No, I've actually got to get up early in the morning because I've got to take my daughter somewhere. But yeah, thank you, Lisa, for being on. It's nice to have you back, and you're always welcome to come back anytime. We always love having you on the show. Thank you, Andy, for getting up really early, like crazily early. That's always appreciated.
Always
mate.
worth it. Thank you.
Always appreciated. And Daren, thank you very much. And don't forget to check Daren's new epic, we'll use his terms, epic track tomorrow.
Epic single for tomorrow.
He's going to be.
Want me to release it?
He's going to be launching that in the Manchester section of the department store. Just in case you didn't get that joke earlier.
With the linens.
Just as long as you don't spend too much time under the doona. And on that note, we shall end the show. See you later. Say bye, everyone.
Oh, buy this book too. I forgot to mention TD3 book. It's very good.
By Cresshead.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to mention it.
Oh yeah, Cresshead's
free
book.
plug. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cresshead on a show before. I know who he is though. All right, beautiful. And we'll end with that. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.